We are here at Minster Memorial Stadium where the St. Henry Redskins will take on the Minster Wildcats. Tonight's game is brought to you by the following sponsors: Keyhole Pizza, Precision Strip, or First National Bank, Precision Strip, Emerson Climate Technologies, Carriage Works, Grand Lake Health, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric Automation, Minster Bank, New Knoxville Supply, Pratt Industries, Wagner's IGA, Wilson Health, Winners Meats, Borchers Sports Center, and NK Telco. You're looking live here at Minster Memorial Stadium. Here, my name's Brandon Koverman. Along with me tonight, Jeff Hinchin. And Jeff, we got a good battle here in the MAC. You know, we're over halfway point of the season in Week 6. First, taking a look at the St. Henry Redskins. Not an ideal start to the season. They win 50-0 starting the season over Covington. And ever since then, it's kind of been an offensive struggle.
Yeah, they haven't scored much at all. The 50, they won against Covington. Since that time, just 10, 7, 0, and 7. So the offense has really struggled, and they've played some good teams. Their last loss was to a very good Coldwater team, Division 5 squad. Coldwater undefeated. They lost 41-7, but you know they feel like they've got a chance tonight against Minster. Come in a smaller school, a chance maybe St. Henry can compete and play 4 quarters of football and come up with a W and break that losing skid.
And you know, like I said, Minster 3-2. Playing really well. They've won their last 2 games over Fort Recovery and Anna, 2 solid MAC wins after not having a MAC win at all. Have a good chance possibly, you know, if they play well tonight, to make it 3 in a row. Yeah,
you're right. They were on a 2-game winning streak. Their only loss in the league was to the powerhouse Division 6 Marion Local Flyers, 34-0. And then they bounced back and beat Fort Recovery 41-21, and then dominated Anna 39-21, coming from behind in the second half and scoring interception return for touchdown by Webker was a big key moment of that game. But playing pretty well and already 3-2, like you said, the big 2 MAC wins already, something they didn't accomplish last year in a rough season. So Minster looking with a lot of confidence, and probably looking at the schedule here in Circle Discipline with St. Henry, feel like we've got a chance. They were beaten by them pretty badly last year, 40-28 in an offensive shootout, but new season this year, and the Cats got to feel like they've got a good chance tonight, especially on their home turf.
Yeah, and sitting at 3-2 on the season, they've clinched a playoff spot already, sitting in that 7th spot, actually. So if the season ended, you know, through Week 5, they'd actually be hosting a home game. And, you know, you look at, you know, really Minster's schedule coming up here, it's against teams that are below 500 coming up here, Parkway and St. John's and St. Henry. So an opportunity here for Minster to go on a streak here. But if St. Henry gets a win tonight, that's a huge boost in their playoff standings after, you know, getting that win against Covington. Covington not really getting many points. Covington only has 1 win against Bradford on the season. So really not very many points so far for St. Henry, but they can pick up some big points tonight here.
Yeah, a win for St. Henry would definitely help their chances to get to Week 11. Now they expanded that format from 8 to 16 teams per region. You get some more teams involved in Week 11 football, but, you know, I'm sure both teams look like we have a chance tonight. Some nights you always think you've got a chance to win, but you got to do a lot of things right against some of the competition. Tonight, I think it's more of an even playing field. We'll wait and see. You know, we're halfway through the season. This is Week 6, so it's amazing how fast it's gone. And these teams have had battled through injuries and roster changes and trying to find all the pieces of the puzzle that will make things happen.
Yeah, and Coach Seth Whiting in his 2nd season. Like I said, it was kind of an odd year last year for Minster, only winning 1 game, and that being a non-conference game.
A non-Ohio high school.
Yeah, and a non-Ohio OHSAA team as well. So, you know, Minster playing well this year. Like I said, they were young. They were kind of freshmen, sophomore last year. Now they're mostly junior, sophomores right now as the Wildcats take the field. If you take a look on your screen right now, here they come right out here at midfield as here Week 6. And it's a beautiful night for football. You know, it's that weird season. You know, I coach baseball. Usually it starts out freezing cold and ends super hot. You know, football the opposite. It starts out super hot and it ends super cold. But tonight's kind of a nice, crisp fall night. The first fall Friday we've had of the season as well.
True. Officially, we're done with summer. And, you know, sometimes here at Minster, if it's a clear sky, you'll have the sun setting to our left, the west. But tonight there's enough cloud cover and such, and that would not be a factor. And, again, really feels like good football weather as the Redskins, as they mentioned, won the toss, Brandon, to start the game. They deferred, so they'll kick off. Minster will have the first action to go on offense.
And Minster, in their other game against Fort Recovery the other week, actually opted to take the ball, which is kind of rare, and they actually ran a trick reverse play down the sideline, got right inside the red zone before they scored on that opening drive, and they put up 41 points. And Chase Cowles is back there, is a very dangerous returner, actually had a kickoff return for a touchdown in that game against Fort Recovery. As we get going here, glad to have you here on NK Toko Sports. Brandon Coverman, Jeff Hinchin, here to bring you all the action here tonight here on NK Toko. And we are underway as the return by Cowles. Cowles up in the 30, and he gets tackled down right there by number 35, Chase Littmer. And Minster will come set up shop on offense. Let's take a look at Minster's keys to the game, brought to you by Keyhole Pizza.
Well, the Wildcats want to play physical, disciplined football of all 4 quarters, not just moments of this and that. Solid 4 quarters. They want to be sound assignment on defense. Don't have blown assignments. Force St. Henry to earn their yardage and also protect the football. Don't give a struggling team like St. Henry a short field on a fumble/interception, and that's common sense for any team, but Minster stresses holding on to the football. Thank you to Keyhole Pizza for our plays, our keys to the game.
Brogan Steffi, the quarterback, the sophomore. Steffi rolls out, looks for a guy down the sideline, down the 40, down and knocked out of bounds near midfield. That was number 81, Charlie Schmeezing. And that is a Minster first down, a great start to the ball game for Minster. Just hit his check down and gets to midfield.
Yeah, what a way to open up with the drive. You move from the 24 to the 50, so a 26-yard pickup, and well executed, good pass, good catch by Schmeezing. And Wildcats, a good start to the opening drive.
So that's Justin Bergman in the backfield. And it's a fumble snap. Steffi just trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. He does. It's a violent tackle. And it's a second down, but Minster able to kind of escape pressure there.
Just fortunate not to lose the ball at that point.
Yeah.
You pick it up, and sometimes falling down on it's the best thing, but they were able to at least pick it up and get it back to the line of scrimmage.
So let's take a look at Minster's offensive starters, brought to you by Emerson Climate Technology. They are Connor Schmeezing, Cole Richard, Devin Wubker, Cole McClurg, Caleb Sharp, Andy Puppelman, Dylan Heitkamp, Adam Rimler, Chase Cowles, Brogan Steffi, Dylan Wellman, Nolan Streeterman, Chase Cowles, James Niemeyer. As there's a handoff, and Bergman will get a couple yards. Andrew Wist, Tyler Hess, Alex Homan, Max Kanapke, Dominic Meyer, Connor Garrett, Brady Wolf, Justin Bergman, and Will Kanapke. As we have third down here for the Minster Wildcats here, 3rd and 8, right inside St. Henry territory. As Steffi gets the play call from Whiting.
Going back to that big pass play that Steffi hooked up with Charlie Schmeezing. I think it's Schmeezing. I'm looking here. I think it's his first catch.
Yeah.
Receiving. So nice way to get your first ball for the junior, 6'2 junior.
Steffi looking for Devin Wubker on the bottom. He turned around and got hit as he threw, and it's going to be 4th down for the Minster Wildcats. I don't think Wubker was coming on that comeback pattern. Didn't see it in time, and the Wildcats, after picking up a first down, go 3 plays and out after that and bring out the punt unit.
Yeah, kind of a fizzling drive ending there after a great start. They really self-destructed with the bad snap, and then just nothing else went right. And give credit to the St. Henry defense for bouncing back and quickly put an end to that Minster drive.
Brady Wolf kicks, and it's fair caught by Hayden Beckman. And that's the St. Henry Redskins will set up shop right at about the 24-yard line. Let's take a look at St. Henry's keys to the game, brought to you by Keyhole Pizza, again in Newport, Ohio.
Well, they want to focus on special teams, make sure they execute very well on special teams. Also want to protect the ball. Sometimes struggling teams, turnovers can be the Achilles heel, and they want to make sure they don't give Minster any cheap scoring opportunities and try to establish the run game. as long as you have the ball and can get first downs, you keep the Minster offense off the field and kind of shorten the game a little bit and just kind of hang around there and find out what the fourth quarter brings, and then see what you still had a chance to win the game. But ground and pound is a good key for the St. Henry Redskins.
Curtis put off the quarterback for the St. Henry Redskins, and he's taking over for Bryce Brookhart, who is the starter the last 2 years, as there's a flag right away. And
false start.
And yeah, see, the play was blown dead. Didn't even happen. So due to that false start, 5-yard backup, 1st and 15. And there, when your team's struggling to score, you get a false start penalty right away. Not very ideal for the red and white.
No, you instantly get out of system. You're behind the chains, and for a team that has struggled moving the ball, especially the last 4 games, it's that's a tough way to put your offense right off the bat, and you're down kind of outside of Minster's red zone. You're inside your own 20, so you got to be very careful here that you don't make a mistake.
Put off. We'll have a little screen pass there going up the 30-yard line, and St. Henry getting out to midfield. That is number 28, Harrison Wendell, that gets into Minster territory, but there's some laundry on the field, and it looks like this one's going to come back here. Harrison Wendell took the screen there.
An illegal block or holding on that screen, holding against the offense. So back-to-back penalties. Now, that goes from the spot. So he'll gain, maybe 4 yards on the pass.
Yeah.
Maybe 10 yards back from the spot.
Still first down.
Back to the 15-yard line.
We're going to mark it at the 15-yard line according to the spot by the officials.
So a 4-yard penalty loss, I guess you could call it, because it was on the 19. Now it goes to the 15, you said, correct? So, yeah. Now you're still first down. 1st and 19 is what the board says.
Wendell put off right hip. He floats out. He floats it downfield, and it's intercepted. Connor Schmeezing at midfield. Schmeezing trying to navigate through the defense. Schmeezing in the 40, and that is a turnover. That ball did not look clean off of Putoff's hands. It floated there forever, and the sophomore Connor Schmeezing comes up with the interception, and Minster's in great field position.
Wow, nice play by number 10 with the big defensive catch, or interception just across midfield. And then, a speedy youngster turned around and got it upfield all the way down to the 37. And boy, I just talk about making a mistake, and that's exactly what the Redskins did not need. It opened up with a couple penalties. One, Brandon neglected a big run or big pass screen for them, and now Minster in a driver's seat after getting a pick on St. Henry's first possession.
The Minster defense, the Minster Wildcats set up at the 37-yard line. Steffi looking to go downfield, trying to get the kill shot, and he hits Webker. He's inside the red zone and down at the 15-yard line. A big chunk play. You see teams do that after a turnover, take a downfield shot, and Minster picks up 22 yards there. Devin Webker with the reception from Brogan Steffi.
Yeah, it was a nice play, and again, a great job on first down. Looks like the Wildcats did on their first possession. Now they've got to finish here. They're inside the red zone at 15. Got to punch it in.
Steffi has Heitkamp off his left hip. Steffi facing pressure, and he is sacked. That is number 72, Drew Schwederman with the sack. The 6'2 junior by Drew Schwederman gets a huge red zone sack.
Wow, that was a big play by the St. Henry defense. And again, now it's going to put Minster outside the chains and force them to have a long down and distance. So great job by the St. Henry defense. Good pressure. Steffi nowhere to go with it.
And great pressure by the St. Henry front. Penetrating on the inside. Steffi going to go empty. Go trips on the top of your screen. Steffi looking back.
Penalty.
And play is dead. There's a timeout by the St. Henry Redskins. We'll take the break with them. Our score, 0-0. 8:21 here to go in the first here on NK Telco Sports.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Back here on NK Telco Sports, here 0-0 with 8:21 here to go in the first. Minster in good position, but still facing a long down and distance after a sack. Steffi steps outside the pocket, hits Chase Cowles back inside the 20, and Minster near the original line of scrimmage after the sack.
Well, that's positive yardage as Cowles they're able to pick up the catch and, again, get him back to near the original line of scrimmage, but now still 3rd and long.
So 3rd and 13, the official standing here. As the Minster offense inside the red zone would be about a 35-yard field goal from about this range. Got
Minster only attempted a couple field goals. You think it's probably 4 down. They're going to the end zone.
He faces pressure. He's hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down. Their intended receiver, James Niemeyer, the main, the number 1 receiver on this team. And it'll bring up 4th down, and it seems like Minster's going to maybe attempt a field goal here. We'll see.
It's a 35-yarder. I think they've only tried 2 kicks on a season.
4th down.
And Steffi leads the MAC in total points, and it helps that he's the quarterback, plus he's the kicker.
Well, he'll get a 35-yard attempt here. He's 1 of 2, I believe, on the season. And he made that one in between 20 and 29. He's 0 for 1 from 30 to 39.
The kick is up, and it was low and partially blocked at the same time. So St. Henry has a turnover. They get a big sack that that deflates the Minster drive there. So a huge swing of events for St. Henry. It looked like kind of certain and utter disaster there, but they avoid it and get a missed field goal.
Well, it's twice now. And I shouldn't say twice. Minster got a good play on their first possession, then stalled. Now they get a huge momentum play, an interception, a decent run back, great field possession, but can't do anything with it. So opportunities there lost by the Cats, and give credit again to St. Henry's defense. They've come up to make some big stops and special teams play. One of the things Coach Luthman talked about, got in there and got a piece of the field goal attempt, make sure it didn't have a chance to go in.
St. Henry runs 2 back. They motion it back out the backfield. Caught there in the backfield. That is caught by number 32, Logan Dehan, who gets a little bit of a gain there. Minimal on 1st down. Taking a look at the Minster defensive starters, brought to you by Emerson Climate Technology. On the line, Brady Wolf, Charlie Schmeezing, Will Frimmel, Gabe Bornhorst at linebacker, James Bayline, Caleb Sharp. In the secondary, Will Kanapke, James Niemeyer, Connor Schmeezing, and Noah Schwederman as our Emerson Climate Technology starting lineups here on NK Telco Sports. 2nd and 7 from the 23-yard line. Put off. Motion to man. That's a little jet sweep there for Harrison Wendell. Wendell gets wrapped up before the 25-yard line. Credit the tackle there to Will Kanapke, the sophomore.
Well, nice play by Kanapke, making a great stand there and limiting that just a 3-yard gain, and brings up a very important now 3rd and 7. Not awful, but boy, 7 yards. Good job by the defense. Minster can force a stop here, Brandon. It's punt time for the Redskins.
You know, if you can't run that ball on early downs, it forces you on longer passing situations and lets the pass rush get to you.
Well, here's a big play for the Minster defense and maybe a bigger play for the St. Henry offense.
Man in motion, put off, drops back, finds a man, and that's caught. That's Nolan Kunkler on the catch. Kunkler, one of the top defensive sack getters on the team, a 6'1 senior, moves the chain on 3rd downs, and played in the middle of that zone there. Nice catch and nice throw by Putoff.
Yeah, well designed and open receiver, nice pass, good hands. More importantly for St. Henry, a 1st down, move the chains on that 13-yard completion.
And St. Henry getting their first down of the night.
Nice pass by Putoff after, his last time was an errant interception. Came back with a lot of confidence and dropped it to his teammate.
And it's a fake. It's Logan Dehan who goes up to about the 43-yard line, I'd say. About 5 yards on first down.
Well, those are always nice chunk plays there when you get 5 yards on first down.
Yeah.
That's in the system. Now it's second and manageable, second and 5, second and 6.
Had a good first possession, or a good first down run there by St. Henry. I haven't really seen that in their short time on the field. Drop back. It's another handoff to Dehan. He will get up to about the 46 yard. It'll be third and short, about 3rd and 2 as we take a look at the St. Henry offensive starters, brought to you by Emerson Climate Technology. At quarterback, Curtis Putoff. Running back, Harrison Wendell. Fullback, Logan Dehan. Wide receivers, Brody Schwartz, Michael Gonzalez, and Hayden Beckman. The left tackle, Dustin Quinter. The left guard, Chris Berkey. The center, Jacob Layfeld. The right guard, Nick Berkey. And right tackle, Drew Schwederman. And tight end, Dominic Schwartz. So
third and a long 2 here, right near midfield. So
I formation. Putoff going to be stopped right away. A barrage of Wildcats there to stop, a multitude of them. And it's 4th down and decision time for Coach Brad Luthman.
Yeah, very well defended by the Wildcats. Looks like Will Kanapke is announced as the first one. You mentioned a host of them were there, but boy, Kanapke did a nice job wrapping them up, make sure he got nowhere, and it's going to be, looks like going for it.
I think they're punting. I saw Putoff come off the field.
Oh, gotcha, yes.
So it looked like initially, I think it was a little bit of a decision, but Chase Cowles, one of the best returners in all the MAC, is back there as well, as Minster will punt here.
Yeah, Cowles, we saw him last year scoring some special teams play.
Nolan Kunkler with a nice boot.
Ooh, almost.
And Cowles is tackled and tripped up there. That was number 12, Charlie Whirling, who tripped up Cowles there in the backfield. The freshman getting some time on special teams. And the Minster offense comes back out on the field. 3:50 to go here in the first quarter. No score yet on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Minster's had a very brief time on the field.
Penalty against Minster on that return, so that's going to take what would have been very good field position, Brandon, move it back a little bit further. Yeah, you mentioned their offense. They've shown very good moments, and then they've just kind of self-destructed. Both their possessions, a couple of great plays, and then the rest, the 80% of the offensive plays have been negative or no yards.
Yeah, so kind of a hodgepodge, really, all over the place tonight here for Minster early on. Offensively, speaking, they've been all over the place, but they get the ball here inside their own 10-yard line, and that's, what Brad Luthman wanted. Do I risk going 4th and 2 where I didn't get it, or do I flip the field position and they get the benefit of a penalty?
Well, you definitely would like to go for it and get it, because then you still have the ball. But boy, the risk is you don't get it. You give Minster great field position. Now you get a decent punt, a penalty, and pin it back on a 10.
Steffi hands off a good manageable first down there for Justin Bergman. It is number 27, Justin Bergman. And a good first down. You haven't really seen Minster try to establish a run yet. They've went through the air mostly here early on in their first 2 short drives. That's Justin Bergman there on the carry.
Yeah, it was a positive yards. They haven't had much success running the ball. That's their 4th rushing attempt. You throw in a sack of -9 yards. That gives them about net of -1 yards here early in the game, rushing the football on 4 attempts.
Steffi claps his hands on the hand off to Schmeezing. I thought the ball came out, and it did. The marker's down. St. Henry claims they have it, and they do. I don't know who came out of the pile with that ball. I thought it came out pretty fast. I thought I saw movement in St. Henry. Like we said, they debated the punt, and it worked out with the turnover.
It turned out beautiful now. So they come down, and, as much you want to go for it on 4th and short, they played it the right way, and then their defense comes up with a tackle and a strip and a recovery of a fumble inside the Minster red zone at the 15.
In prime position here, St. Henry going to come out in a 2-back formation. Dehan on the right, Wendell on his left. Putoff, the quarterback, claps his hands to the junior. Low snap, Putoff going to take it himself, navigate through the defense, get right to about the 10-yard line. That was a pretty good start for that drive, considering it wasn't the cleanest snap.
Yes, again, those can be disastrous plays when you start mishandling the center quarterback exchange, this case out of the pistol, the shotgun, and boy, and it turns out to be a 5-yard pickup. So you'll easily take that on first down.
Junior Jacob Layfeld's the center. And 2nd and 5 from the 10-yard line. St. Henry in prime position to strike here early after a fumble by Connor Schmeezing. Like we said, Schmeezing had the pick, now the fumble. St. Henry's still showing a two-back look here. Going to motion Wendell out the backfield. It's going to be a rollout design quarterback run for Putoff. He'll navigate through the right side and score standing up at the 2:13 mark, 2:12 mark actually. Curtis Putoff on a 10-yard run with 2:12 here to go in the first quarter. St. Henry strikes first with the First National Bank Think First scoreboard.
Excellent job by the offense as Putoff, like you said, had a nice hole on the right side and scampers in for a touchdown. Points off turnovers are big, and they did exactly that on the run by
Curtis Putoff.
Number 10, Curtis Putoff.
And that's, that was a nice design quarterback run. Great push by the right side of the St. Henry line. He went in pretty much about untouched.
Untouched is right.
And St. Henry going to come on and try the extra point. Michael Gonzalez, the kicker. Kick is up, and it is no good. So it misses the kick. It is 6-0 on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. And, let's take a look at some of our sponsors here tonight that we'd like to thank. Keyhole Pizza, First National Bank, Precision Strip, Emerson Climate Technologies, Carriage Works, Grand Lake Health, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric Automation, Minster Bank, New Knoxville Supply, Pratt Industries, Wagner's IGA, Wilson Health, Winners Meats, Borchers Floor Center, and NK Toco. I'd like to remind you that NK Toco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of tonight's high school varsity football action on NK Toco Channel 3 and HD on Channel 503. You can catch the replays of this game Tuesday, October 11th at 5 p.m. and Saturday, October the 15th at 4 p.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktoco.com/sports. So 6-0 St. Henry on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. A 10-yard run by Curtis Putoff off a Minster fumble, the difference here so far, Jeff.
Yeah, they took over and bang, bang, positive plays. A 5-yard run and then the 10-yard score. So great job, St. Henry. A little bit of the underdog, if you will, here tonight, but have been making plays here and going to force Minster now to work from behind.
Schmeezing wrapped up by a horde of St. Henry Redskins. And Minster will set up shop just inside their own 30-yard line, facing a 6-0 deficit.
Well, if it's anything for Minster fans, they've come from behind a couple of times this year. At Graham, they trailed, and also at Anna, they trailed going into halftime, I believe it was. So they've been able to come from behind in those games, but, you don't like to always practice that. It's nice to know you've done it, but going to have a come from behind effort tonight, no doubt here, trailing 7-0, just over 2 minutes to play in the first quarter.
And let's see if, Minster tries to establish that run game a little more here so far.
Well, they haven't done much yet. Of course, possessions have been very few plays run. They go to a quick pass to Webker.
Webker out on that quick pass, like you said, Jeff, maybe about the 37, 38-yard line. Can't quite see very well down there as the clock continues to roll inside 2 minutes.
Nice pass and catch. Webker had a big interception in the Anna game last week. At the time, Minster was, I believe, behind. Caught it, went 85 yards for the go-ahead touchdown.
So, good, decent play to move the ball on first down.
Webker came in with 16 catches on the season. That's behind the leader, James Niemeyer, who has 27 catches on the season.
Cal's going to be moved in motion. Steffi's design quarterback run. We saw this a lot in the Fort Recovery game, and there's a flag. I think a face mask right there by number 54, Jeremy Niekamp. Got his hand in the cage there of Brogan Steffi. That was thrown pretty fast by the judge on the front of the Minster sideline.
We get a great angle view of it, that's for sure. It looked like,
they're going to call it a hold. Ooh.
Third down and very short. But the guy in the white hat says,
and it's holding against. I thought he got his hand maybe in the face or in the horse collar or something. I thought it might have been a personal foul against St. Henry, but I guess, bite my tongue. I thought he grabbed something somewhere in there.
Ball back to the 28-yard line.
He's going to move the ball back to the 28. 2nd and 12. The official standing now.
Well, another miscue here by the Wildcats. It's just their first penalty, but every drive has had something kind of go negative for them, whether it's a sack or a good defense or, just nothing's been fluid yet for the Wildcats. Kind of not crisp yet here early in this game.
Steffi gets a blitz, and he gets the screenplay over to Schmeezing. Schmeezing down the sideline, a flag in the backfield. He gets hit out of bounds, but this one might be coming back. He's inside St. Henry territory, but hold the phone here, folks. Let's go down to the field and see the official ruling. It looks like it will be coming back. Another hold.
Well, it's another play that's going to be nullified. They snapped it on the 28, would have had it inside of St. Henry territory.
That hold there, man, critical. And I said design blitz. I think that was design on the screenplay. Yes. Was to let him. I thought it was just a burst off the line, but I didn't see the screenplay developing underneath.
I didn't either. I saw the Redskin defenders sprinting in untouched, and I was glad that Steffi was able to get it away, but unfortunately it's going to be brought back, and that's again going to move the ball from the 28 back to what, the 18?
Yeah.
So back-to-back 10-yard penalties.
2nd and a mile now. 38 seconds to go as the clock continues to roll here. Maybe one more play, Minster will get off. We'll see before the end of the quarter. Brogan Steffi will go empty. 5 receivers out. Steffi going to drop back to pass. Beautiful pass to Chase Cowles. What a throw by Brogan Steffi to hit Chase Cowles on his outside shoulder. Good pickup there.
Yeah, 17-yard pickup as Cowles the receiver, and excellent throw by Steffi. Now much more 3rd and 5 situation.
Boy, that threaded the needle right there. I thought a St. Henry Redskin might get a hand on that. Clock freezes at 23 seconds to go. What a throw by Brogan Steffi. And it'll go trips on the top of your screen. And Devin Webker on the bottom of your screen. Steffi has pressure, and he tries to hit Webker there, but there was pressure off the edge. Elijah Horseman, a 5'8 senior, screaming off the edge there, causes a 4th down, and I believe Minster will punt, and they will bring their punt unit out with 19 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
Horseman did an excellent job, made Steffi throw that a lot sooner than what he wanted to. The receiver hadn't made his cut very precisely yet, and just goes an incomplete pass, but St. Henry's defense has been making some very good plays. They've been helped with some penalties, no doubt, but Minster not able to overcome those back-to-back, basically what turned out to be 20-yard penalties called on holding.
Brady Wolf, sky-high punt, and it's fair caught by Hayden Beckman inside the 30-yard line, and that's where the St. Henry Redskins will set up shop just inside their own 30-yard line with 12 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. 6-0 St. Henry. So far, 10-yard run by Curtis Putoff.
Yeah, a very short scoring drive the last time on a short field, but they took advantage of their fumble recovery, and now the defense again is held. So the offense, chance here to, mention the ground game, making it a shorter game. Now they have a lead. Long way to go yet, but boy, St. Henry's got to feel better. Their offense has struggled since week 1, just netting 24 points in the last 4 games, but off to a 7-0 spot right here.
Curtis Putoff, quick screen caught by Logan Dehan. Dehan meeting a handful of defenders. I think he maybe got a yard, barely anything at the line of scrimmage. Clock will run out on the first quarter. We are through 12 minutes of play here in week 6 of high school football action. Our score is St. Henry 6, Minster nothing. We'll step aside, take a break here, come back with the second quarter of action here next on KTOCO Sports.
Wagner's IGA has been servicing their communities for more than 95 years, spanning 3 generations. Wagner's founded their business on 2 basic principles: excellent customer service and quality products. Visit all our locations and experience the finest selection of deli, fresh meats, and variety of beverage choices. While there, don't forget to check out our vast selection of fresh coffee beans, produce, dairy, and bakery items. Visit Wagner's today in Minster, Fort Laramie, and New Bremen, and check us out on Facebook.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
Back here at Memorial Field in Minster High School, 6-0 our score. St. Henry ahead of Minster, and a pretty good first quarter there. I mean, not for the Wildcats, but just kind of overall defensively, a very defensive-driven first quarter.
Yeah, the Wildcats have kind of hurt themselves. St. Henry has just taken care of business and played clean, other than the interception. They had nearly almost coughed it up there in the incomplete pass, but yeah, the big turnover by the Wildcats deep in their own territory is really right now the difference of the game.
And Minster got a hand in there, I believe, to force a third down. I believe it was James Niemeyer there on the coverage, playing both ways, playing wide receiver and in the secondary on defense.
Curtis Putoff now 3 of 5 on the night, throwing the ball through the air. Had that interception and that last incomplete pass there of those 3 completions. Good for 18 yards.
So Curtis Putoff on the season was averaging less than 40% of his passes being complete.
Yeah, he had 2 touchdowns on the season, 4 interceptions. Now make that 5.
Putoff drops back to pass. A screen is swallowed up there quickly on the Minster defense. That is number 33. Will Frimmel, the 5'10 sophomore, sniffed out that screen, and it's a 3-and-out for the St. Henry Redskins. That was a nice defensive play there by Minster.
Yeah, again, Minster's defense kind of trying to make a good stop. They did exactly what they needed to do, force a quick punt.
And Chase Cowles back to receive the punt. Nolan Kunkler will punt for the Redskins.
31-yard average on the season for Kunkler. That one's a low-line drive.
Cowles gets it. Cowles going to try to navigate through the defense. Gets a decent gain there. It'll be a good starting field position for Minster. Their best, besides after the interception of the night. They'll start at their own 41-yard line with 11:06 to go here in the first half. 6-0. A 10-yard run by Curtis Putoff. The difference here, it came off of a fumble. It was forced by the St. Henry defense. And Curtis Putoff again navigated his way to the end zone. They missed the point after, so that will kind of loom large here late. Minster did miss a field goal early on in the first quarter, too.
Yeah, there's been some scoring opportunities by each team. Minster didn't take care of their opportunity, and St. Henry did, but again, left a point on the field with a missed kick. And I'd like to see the Wildcats offense just get a first down here without any miscues, any penalties.
Bergman will pick up about 2 or 3 yards there on first down. And like I said, Minster had a couple big plays there that were nullified by some penalties early on. We thought Minster, had that screen pass to Schmeezing. They got inside the 50, but then a holding penalty brought it back.
Each team has really had big plays taken away or reduced or squelched because of a penalty.
Let's have a wing back up there and have Webker and Niemeyer on your bottom and top of your screen each, but Steffi met right at the line of scrimmage there. On the tackle, Harrison Wendell, who's been a nice player for a couple years for St. Henry.
Yeah, he has. Kunkler has, you said Harrison Wendell. Yes, very nice stop there. And again, he wrapped and dropped, and another stop here is going to force a Minster punt for the Redskins. So their defense a chance here to make a big statement as well, just like the Cats defense did a possession before.
Steffi facing a 3rd and 6. Team needs to convert something to get something going here. Bergman off his left hip. Trips on the top of your screen. On the bottom of your screen, I believe, is James Niemeyer. And it looks like there's going to be a timeout on the St. Henry sideline. We'll take it with them. All timeouts brought to you by Precision Strip. Our score, St. Henry 6, Minster nothing. 9:43 to go here in the first half. You're watching high school football on NK Telco Sports.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones. We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital, with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
Back here on NK Toko Sports, 9:43 here to go in the first half. Ball resting at Minster's own 44-yard line, and a big opportunity here for Minster, Jeff.
Yeah, they need to get this 7 yards here, or 6 or 7 yards in heartbeat. They have just one first down on the game, and that's going to be an incomplete pass. He's knocked away or blocked.
Well, that was Harrison Wendell.
Yeah, you mentioned his name. He's making a good play again.
St. Henry trying to claim it was their ball. It was a clear forward pass. It was batted down at the line of scrimmage by Harrison Wendell. And Harrison Wendell got through the right side of the Minster line, beat the right tackle on that play. And it looked like he was coming off the edge, screamed off the edge, got a hand up, and forcing now a Minster punt.
Good job by the St. Henry defense. And again, Minster's offense has struggled.
Wolf, punt caught by Kellen Hoying, and Hoying was down on a knee when he caught the ball anyway. And with 9:31, the St. Henry offense comes out on the field. Like we said, it's been a struggle for them to score. They opened up, they beat Covington 50-0, but I don't think they've barely even put out half that production since then. Only 24 points in their last 4 contests.
Yeah, scored 10 against Archbold, 7 against Anna, 0 against Parkway, and 7 against Coldwater.
So very minimal offensive production. But, you know, when you get 6 points in the first quarter, that's huge for an offense that's been struggling. You know, you get something early, it gets you a little more confidence.
Yeah, and they had a drive earlier that they ended up punting on. It had some momentum until it stalled, so they've not done a lot, but they've done more than Minster has.
Design quarterback run. Curtis Putoff in the clear. Curtis Putoff past the 50-yard line, gets pushed out just outside the 40-yard line. Quite the big block by number 77. That was Justin Quinter, who had a big pancake block to open up that left side and give the big man some love there. He created a huge hole. Ball on the 40-yard line.
Yeah, so give that. I think it was snapped on a 20, so 40-yard run.
Yeah, and that hole, Justin Quinter just absolutely blew that open. The senior left tackle, who's been a 3-year starter on this line, did a really nice job, and St. Henry's in business. Dehan gets the carry. He'll get a few yards here. Got to maybe think this is 4 down. Pretty much anything right now is about 4 down territory for St. Henry.
Yeah, I would agree. You're definitely, unless you take yourself backwards with some penalties or something, you're going to go 3 downs to get probably the next 8 yards. But a big burst of energy there, good momentum play. And again, the Skins, another big play. No penalties were called, so it stands. And a good run there by Curtis Putoff.
St. Henry again running 2-back. They show this quite frequently. Like we said earlier, Putoff going to roll out. He's going to roll out, looking, throws a floater and just going to throw it away. That pass intended there for Michael Gonzalez. And we got a player down. I think Putoff was hit there. He was being chased out of the pocket by some Minster Wildcats. He's laying on his back. He seems to be okay. 3rd and 9 from the 39-yard line of Minster for St. Henry. 8:27 to go here in the first half.
Nice job of the Cats defense, not letting the receiver get open for St. Henry. And this is much more, I think, advantage now for the Minster Wildcats defense. 2 downs probably to get the 9 yards, but better opportunity on that 0-yardage play.
Put off right over the middle, threw right behind the receiver, incomplete. That intended for Brody Schwartz. And the Minster fans not happy about something.
Well, I think number 72 for St. Henry is, I think it was 72, was maybe Drew Sweeterman involved with the Minster Wildcat, either on the blocking and or finishing the block. So quickly after a great momentum play, Brandon, and a 2-yard gain, it's been back-to-back incompletion. So now it's 4th and long. You mentioned probably they would go for it, and they are there, but boy, 4th and 9 yards, so tough down and distance.
Trips on the bottom of your screen, one receiver on the top. Put off, rolls out, looking, Minster pressure. Put off, steps up in the pocket, floats it downfield, and it's broken up. Devin Wubker, the safety, gets his paw in there and breaks up the pass intended for Brody Schwartz. Turnover on downs, Minster football.
Well, nice play by Webker. He had a big interception last week at Anna. Right there, knocking down a pass. And I wanted to say there was a Minster lineman that put some heat on put off.
Yeah.
I thought it was 74, if that would make sense. Maybe Fletcher
Luthman. Yep.
Possibly it was him. It forced maybe the throw maybe a little bit quicker, and he was some contact, but nonetheless, good play by Devin Webker to nullify the chance for a catch.
And yeah, it was a great, again, like you said, Devin Webker, the guy who had the big pick last week, makes a nice play getting his hand in there. And Minster turnover on downs. And it's I formation here. It's a little fullback dive, and a horde of St. Henry Redskins get the tackle.
Well, they've had about 3 rushing attempts for 0 yards, and they throw in a sack for -9. Haven't had much success on the ground. Haven't had much success throwing the ball either. They looks like they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 4 for 10 roughly.
Yeah.
So not clicking right now are the Wildcats on offense. So defense helping them out though, keeping them, keeping out just a 6-point game here until the offense can find some rhythm, get some first downs. I have them down for just 1 first down, and that was in the first play of the game.
Yeah. Minster having trouble establishing that run, which is making it easier on Steffi. A little run out, screen pass there for a little bubble screen for Connor Schmeezing. Very close to the sticks. We'll see where they spot it. I think he's just a tad short, and it's going to be 3rd and short as the clock freezes at 7:27 to go here in the first half.
Well, 3rd and 1, a 3rd and a long 3 feet here, but boy, this is something Wildcats need to find a play here that gets them 3 feet or 1 yard. It's a long yard. As they will respot it there a little bit, but this will give them their 2nd first down, more importantly, get them near midfield and a new set of downs and maybe a little bit of life on the offense.
3rd and 1, a wing back in for Minster. It's a design run for Steffi, and Steffi gets the first down, motors in to St. Henry territory. They did that a lot against Fort Recovery, a lot of design runs for Brogan Steffi. He picks up the Minster first down.
Well, they needed 1. They got 1, 2, 3, 4. So nice job there by Steffi, and more importantly, now we'll see if Minster can kind of take a breath. You're out of the St. Henry, or you're out of your own territory. You're in St. Henry territory now, and let's begin to put some things together here. So give credit thus far for St. Henry's defense. They've made it very difficult for the Minster Wildcat offense.
7 minutes to go. 6-0 our score. St. Henry ahead on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. A Curtis Putoff touchdown with 2:12 to go in the first quarter. The difference here, a missed point after time. Play action, a little RPO. Right over the middle of the field to James Niemeyer. Very close to the first down. Probably just a little short, right at about the 40-yard line. I had a pickup of 8 there.
Niemeyer came in, I mentioned earlier, the leading receiver for the Wildcats. His first catch of the night. But he came in with 27 catches for 335 yards and a couple of touchdowns. That one, though, more importantly, just a nice catch on first downs. Now 2nd and short, 2nd and 2. Obviously this is 4-down territory, so you can, a lot of options here with basically 3 plays to get the 2 yards.
Trips out on the top of your screen. And Schmeezing, it looks like on the bottom of your screen, a fake pitch. Steffi going to go over the middle of the field. He's got Schmeezing. Schmeezing down inside the red zone. Looks like he's about maybe on the 17-yard line or so. And that's a 23-yard pickup. They spot it at the 17, and they do. So it's a 23-yard pickup there over to Connor Schmeezing. Beautiful ball by Brogan Steffi.
Schmeezing, 10 catches coming into the ball game. No touchdowns on the season, but that one another first down here. So the Wildcats have picked up their second first down in this drive, gives them 3 in the ball game.
2 receivers on the top. Steffi looking back. Steffi throwing a back corner fade for Niemeyer, and yeah, it's just a little overthrown there. And there on the coverage looked like Curtis put off, and it was, and they're on the coverage. They're trying to go for that fade there in the front corner of the end zone there for Steffi's favorite target, James Niemeyer.
That incomplete pass, the 13th attempt of the half for Steffi. He's completed on 8 of them.
Clock freezes at 5:34 on that First National Bank Think First scoreboard.
Steffi on the season, 62% passing, 67 of 107 with 5 touchdowns on the season and just 1 interception.
Steffi getting pressure off the edge, steps up in the pocket. Just got to get rid of it. St. Henry had some great pressure there. Nice job by Steffi just to step up in the pocket and get rid of it.
Yes, again, avoiding the negative play, and all those, and no, the pass was only his player was going to get it. So he had dodged a bullet, which would have been negative yards and out of system again. So it turns out, could have been a lot worse. You wanted more, but boy, it stops the clock. New set of downs here, or not new set of downs, but refocus now. 2 tries to get the 10 yards. Guess maybe at this distance, if they don't get it, they might think about a field goal, but Minster surely hoping to get 6.
So 5:29 here to go. 6-0. St. Henry ahead. Brogan Steffi going right towards Coach Seth Whiting, and they call a precision strip timeout. We'll take it with them. 5:29 here to go in the first half. 6-0 St. Henry, critical third down here coming up for Minster right after this break on NK Telco Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
Kemmler Orthopedic Center is focused on a personalized, caring approach to treat all aspects of orthopedics, including total joint replacement, shoulder reconstruction, stem cell injections, and more. Dr. James Kemmler and Jed Cooney, certified PA, are dedicated to providing the best orthopedic care in the Grand Lake region. Kemmler Orthopedic Center has offices located in Salina and Van Wert, along with extended evening hours. To schedule an appointment, call our office at 419-586-5760.
Welcome back here on NK Telco Sports. Critical third down coming up here from the 17-yard line of St. Henry. Big third down here for the Minster Wildcats. They need this fresh set of downs. Steffi with some pressure in his face. Ball caught by Chase Cowles. He's just short of the goal line. Big play by Brogan Steffi. He made a big-time throw there.
16-yard pass and catch as Cowles, tough receiver to defend, had nice angle. We saw it. He was open, ball right on the money, allowed Couch to catch and get down to, they're going to mark him down around the 2-yard line.
It's a 15-yard pickup there on third down.
But more importantly, another first down. That's 3 of them here in this drive. But still, you got to punch it in.
Schmeezing, motion out of the backfield. They'll hand it off. And is it a touchdown? Touchdown! Don't know who it is. We'll see who comes out of the pile with the ball. Justin Bergman with 4:50 to go. Gets the run on the little play there. A little like dive action there. And Minster, now tied, can take the lead with a point after attempt.
Nice job by the Wildcats offensive line and team just pushing forward. There was a lot of bodies in there, and Bergman able to get the 6 feet.
And a kick is no doubter. That was right through. That would have been good from about 35 yards. That was a great boot by Brogan Steffi, the total point leader in all the MAC. Minster has their first lead of the night at 7-6 over the St. Henry Redskins. We'll step aside, take a precision strip timeout. Come back with St. Henry's drive here next on NK Telco Sports.
We are here. And here. And here. Minster Bank is everywhere, providing every banking service that you need to keep your financial life in order. Whether you are on the go or stopping by one of our branches, Minster Bank is here for you. We proudly support the communities where you live. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Unpack your potential with a career at Pratt Industries. Working at Pratt Industries is more than a job. It's a sustainable career.
Pratt Industries to me is a job. It's my career. It's the way I put food on my table, but I love what I do.
We offer competitive pay, excellent benefits, and opportunities for career advancement. To apply, visit careers.prattindustries.com.
Welcome back here to NK Telco Sports. The Minster Wildcats lead the St. Henry Redskins 7-6 after trailing. They sustain a nice long drive here, and now they feel like they're in control for the first time here tonight, Jeff.
Well, that drive definitely was the best thing they've done all game, and got 3 first downs in that drive. That kept the ball in their possession, and just clean, no penalties. They had a couple incomplete passes, but nothing dangerous. And more importantly, like I said, no penalties, no negative loss plays. So a nice methodical drive. It took them about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or so plays to go from the 39 of St. Henry into the touchdown for Justin Bergman, his first touchdown of the season.
John Keller there, the big special teams tackle. And at the week when Minster played Fort Recovery, they made a lot of tackles on special teams, especially in the kick return game. That just set Fort Recovery back a multiple amount of times. 4:45 here remaining in the first half. St. Henry trailing for the first time tonight. Curtis Putoff gets the ball, design quarterback run, which has been successful for St. Henry a few times. Not as successful this time. It gets about a minimum about 3 yards on first down. And makes it about a 2nd and 8, 2nd and 7 or so around that range as there's 4.5 minutes to go here in the first half.
Well, the first time tonight, now the Redskins find themselves trailing. And remember the last possession, they had a big run of 40 yards.
Yeah.
If I have that right, a huge run, but then they did nothing after it.
No.
They lost the ball on downs.
2nd and 8, it says on our scoreboard, from their own 25-yard line for St. Henry, trailing by 1. Putoff rolls out to his left. Looking, ball is caught. That is Hayden Beckman, who, like Jeffy said, a first down for the 5'9 junior. Nice little design rollout, and St. Henry moves the sticks.
10-yard pass play, more importantly, a first down. And I think a lot of times when you look at the stat sheet and you see teams that have the most first downs, those are usually the teams that are winning the game. Not always, but boy, if you're getting some first downs, that means your offense has got some rhythm going and you're killing the clock as well. You know, I just think St. Henry's benefit would be if you can shorten the game, keep possession of the ball, don't let Minster's offense get rolling, and just take care of the clock yourself with some first downs and then ultimately get some points on the board when you get inside the red zone.
St. Henry goes trips on the top of your screen. Putoff breaks the tackle, gets right near the edge of the Minster logo. And there's multiple, there's flags flying everywhere. There's 3 of them that flown. I don't know what happened there on the field.
Well, some extracurriculars. Remember, it happened earlier in the game, too. I was looking down. Personal foul against St. Henry.
And the Minster crowd stand up and cheer. There's 3 flags there, pretty blatant.
Now, that's after the play, correct?
Yes.
So they'll mark it off from, what, the 45 or 46-yard line?
Wherever the ball was last spotted, yeah.
Yep, that moved it back 15 yards, so then they'll go from the 45 back to the 30.
They haven't spotted at the 30, yep.
So big penalty there after a good play, after a couple first downs by the Redskins. You got to maintain composure, and that play will cost them 15 now. Still just 10 yards for first down, but you lose all that field position. And they have 1 timeout left. I think St. Henry took 2 earlier in the game, so they have 1 timeout left. So the clock moving out at 3:40.
So the 30-yard line, first down. I guess they're just really going to nullify that play. Have a 1st and 10. Wendell up to about the 35. gets 5 yards on that first down. I believe it was they did have it as a 1st and 10, and that will be a 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6 or so.
That's really, you take the penalty away. The St. Henry Redskins have been, their last 3 or 4 plays have all been 5+ yards of offense on the ground and also through the air. So Minster's defense has to make a stand here, try to maybe get the ball back before halftime.
Yeah, St. Henry needs a big drive here. Minster gets the ball after halftime.
Actually, St.
Henry gets the ball after halftime, excuse me. Yeah, this is a big drive. And hits a short pass to Wendell. It'll be 3rd and short. Yeah, if they can score here, sustain a nice drive, they get the ball back after halftime. If they can keep it out of Minster's hands after building some momentum right there on that last drive, that's huge.
You mentioned scoring here and then getting the ball back. They call that double dipping.
Yeah.
I don't like it when people get to toss and defer, because you can, I like it when you do defer because that way you for sure get the ball back to start the second half. In this case, St. Henry, they could play their cards right here.
And Putoff gets a block. Putoff in the clear. There's no doubt. Going from his own 37-yard line, Curtis Putoff through that left side of the St. Henry line. Gets all the way to the end zone. That is a 63-yard run. There's a flag back down.
Wow. Holding.
Oh, my.
Okay, well, scratch off the touchdown.
Flag right in front of the St. Henry sideline. Oh, my.
And that was back on the 41-yard line, so it wasn't even like it was downfield. They're going to get very little. I mean, I guess if they could have held later on down the field, you would have still got some decent positioning, but that's going to move the ball back here. Remember, that will negate that 63-yard run.
Back to the 32.
Oh, my.
So it turns out to be just a 5-yard loss of kind of offense there, but boy, a big penalty. That's happened a few times tonight for each team where they've had big plays.
Yeah.
I mean, not just 5 or 10 yarders, but big plays. This one wiped off a score.
It's a 3rd and 8 is what it's marked off as from the spot foul. They try to go on a screen, and it's incomplete, intended for Harrison Wendell. The clock freezes at 2:05 to go. And St. Henry will bring out its punt unit.
Wow. Minster's got to be taking some breaths here. They went from, oh, crap, we just gave up a big touchdown, got a break on a penalty. Then the screenplay went nowhere. Now you're going to force a punt with 2:05 left and get the ball back and try to add on to your 1-point lead. Minster has 2 timeouts showing on the scoreboard, so plenty of time to work with if they can get secure the punt and catch.
Yeah.
That's first things first.
High snap. Kunkler plenty of time to get it off. And it's going to bounce just about at the 36-yard line, and that's where the Minster Wildcats will set up shop. Had to run a little 2-minute drill here to try to get in the end zone right before halftime. But they avoid disaster, like you said, due to the St. Henry penalties. They get a huge hold that brings that 63-yard, what would have been a 63-yard touchdown run by Curtis Putoff all the way back. And Minster now in a 2-minute drill, so to speak.
Well, you move on. You don't worry too much about that now. You've dodged that bullet. You got a break. And even on a punt there, it looked like maybe the way the ball was bouncing, it was maybe going to bounce off a Minster blocker. Yeah. Fortunately for the Cats, it did not happen. So they do get the ball here at 36-yard line, their own, and just under a 2 minute and plus the 2 timeouts. Try to put some points on the board before halftime.
Steffi will go empty. Minster going to look to pass here, going aggressive downfield. Short little pass, short little attempted screen there for James Niemeyer. A flag flies. And throw down. We'll see what happened here. And it looks like ineligible receiver downfield is what they are signaling for against Minster. Yep, an ineligible man downfield. A lot of flags here tonight. Kind of a sloppy played game by both sides here so far in the first half.
Yeah, I have St. Henry down for 4 penalties. Minster has had 2. But maybe the penalties seem like they've been big because they've taken away big plays.
Times. And and like you said, you notice those more. You notice You notice a penalty that takes away a 63-yard touchdown. You don't notice a penalty that takes away a 1-yard run, obviously.
Correct.
Minster will still stay empty. It's a 5-yard loss. Still first down, though. Steffi back in the pocket. Will go out to Niemeyer again, right at about the 41-yard line. So that's about a gain of 11 there on first down. I know they're going to say 6. Oh, they had I think they had the ball spotted on the 30.
Yeah, it was Stafford on the 31.
Yeah, okay.
So give him 5 or 6. Nonetheless, that's penalty yards back. Or I should say a little bit more than that. It was snapped from the 31, you're correct. Now it's on the 41.
Still
10-yard pickup. There we go.
Still empty. Steffi looking back plenty of time. Nice protection by the Minster line. That ball is caught right over the middle. And who else but James Niemeyer gets into St. Henry territory in the soft part of the St. Henry zone. And it's a Minster first down.
Back-to-back 10-yard pass and catches. Niemeyer again the recipient, and more importantly, a first down for the Wildcats. Clock running 1:30.
They're isolating Niemeyer. Steffi looking to go that way again. Looking down the sideline. Cows was knocked out of bounds. He catches it. The flag is flown. He's down inside the 5. He was out of bounds, and the flag was down anyway. It was going to be an illegal touching. This actually happened in the Browns-Steelers game last night with Amari Cooper.
Yeah, but he ran out of bounds.
Yeah,
this
he
guy
ran. Yeah.
He just, I guess you forget where you're at on the field. But here I thought maybe Couch was blocked out of bounds.
Yeah, if he was blocked out of bounds, he can come back in and establish. I think he might have been blocked. Honestly, the path he looked like he would have been blocked. If not, he's down inside the 2-yard line. This is a big play right here.
It looked weird when seeing Couch kind of come off the sideline. I thought, where'd he come from?
Yeah.
I didn't see him going down the field. I have no idea if he was touched going down the sideline, and it's going to be maybe if an official, they're going to count it. So from they're on the 49 down to the 1. They're about a 48-yard
reception,
pass and catch.
Good call there by the officials. They did everything by the book there, and talking it over. Nice job there by the officials. The correct call. Cows, like you said, you can usually tell if you're forced out of bounds like that. He took an odd angle.
Yeah, he came back in, like I said, almost like he ran in from the sideline and thought, this is not right, but he was bumped out then. And
you don't go that wide, out of bounds.
But last night, Cooper just running down the field, drifted out of bounds.
Yeah.
Kind of odd from a professional.
Yeah.
I'm not real happy about it. But the Browns won, so I can let some things go. But sometimes you wonder about those guys who've played football all their life, run numerous thousands of routes, and aimlessly just drift out of bounds and come back in.
Yeah.
You wonder what they get paid per game?
I don't know. I have to look.
More than we get paid for announcing?
That's true. Right on the 1-yard line, first and goal, I formation for the Wildcats. Steffi will try to push ahead. I think he got it on the second burst, and he did. 1-yard run at the 114 mark by Brogan Steffi, and the Minster Wildcats build on their lead 13-6 now on that First National Bank first scoreboard. And now the PAT unit coming in for the Minster Wildcats.
Well, they've really turned it around after struggling on their first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 possession. They've scored on possessions 6 and 7 and have a chance here to grow the lead with the extra point. Well, again, that was into the school almost.
Well, that was clearly good from Brogan Steffi. He missed a field goal attempt earlier, but that boot was a no-doubter there. Would have struck from a long range away, and Minster, after trailing that whole first quarter, puts up 14 unanswered here in the second frame of this ball game. 1:14 to go here before half.
Well, again, much better drives the last 2 series by the Wildcats, and for Steffi, that is touchdown number 10 on the ground this season.
And now St. Henry got to go in a 2-minute type drill themselves. 1:14 to go. They have 1 timeout remaining here.
Now you got to be careful. If you don't get great return here, as much as you'd love to score, you do get the ball back to start the third quarter, but going to need a need a strong return, but you can't go too, how do I say, out of system here and do something that will self-destruct and give the Wildcats the ball back again. So you're only down 8 points, so it's a one-possession game, although the Wildcats a lot of momentum here the last couple possessions, and it's going to be up to St. Henry offense to try to slow that rhythm down with a good return and get some yards here before half. Whistles before the kick.
Yeah, and I don't know if they weren't ready yet, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, 14-6 on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard with 1:14 to go here before half. My name's Brandon Coverman, and alongside me, Jeff Hinchin, and Minster, starting out red hot. Like I said, this is a big opportunity. They win tonight, they go to 4-2. And, after this week, they play Parkway and Delphus their next 2 weeks.
Yeah, and Parkway's 2-3. St. John's right now 1-4. So, nothing's, you probably look at that schedule and think, oh, those are winnable games. And, you still got to come out and play. And then they finish the season with a very good New Bremen and a very good Versailles team. So you need to kind of, this game and the next two are games you got to circle as a Wildcat and think, boy, we got to come out on top here.
And there's a possibility, you finish inside that top 8, you can host a home game. Which
two of them.
Yeah, you can host a home game.
I think at least one
you
for
finish
sure.
inside the top 8, you're at least guaranteed to finish host one. St. Henry, Dehan taken down at about the 25-yard line. A flag in the back around midfield, just short of midfield.
I see the flag now. I didn't see if it was an illegal block then or a hold. Or what a motion the referee gave, like a throwdown.
Like a wrestling move. And then, like I said, a lot of flags over the field tonight. Very kind of sloppy-ish play, especially it goes against St. Henry. Like I said, it's kind of odd to see. You expect to see this more week 1 or in your scrimmages, but this late in the season or this really middle point, you're in week 6, you're over the hump.
Yes.
You're not expecting to see, and
so they would have had the ball on maybe the 20.
Yeah.
And now they're marking it on basically the 11, so 21 to 11. 10-yard penalty.
So 89 yards to operate down the field for St. Henry. Logan.
Not looking good. Now they've had some explosion plays. They've had some big plays, a couple of them, but only one that counted. The other one was called back due to a penalty.
They'll go back to that design quarterback run on the left side for put-off.
They might be content just to kind of see if Minster with 2 timeouts doesn't burn them, maybe just to take the snaps and go into halftime down 1 score.
Yeah. Give Sharp on the tackle. I think St. Henry is pretty content. They aren't hustling to the line or anything. They're just letting that clock roll. And now we got a timeout by Minster. Kind of a wow to take that timeout by Coach White. Maybe not. And now
if they did take timeout, they let a lot of time go off the board.
And they're going to have to reset the game clock because, like you said, a lot of time ran off there.
It is a Minster timeout.
And a precision strip timeout. We'll take it with them. 34 seconds to go in the first half. Minster 14, St. Henry 6. We'll be back here in a second on K-Toka Sports.
Are you looking for a rewarding career? Lincoln Electric Automation in Coldwater and Fort Loramie supplies top-of-the-line automation systems to manufacturers. Lincoln Electric Automation routinely develops its team through hiring and by offering advanced technical training. We understand that every employee matters, and every role contributes to the success of our business. We offer advancement opportunities, competitive wages, and benefit packages. Visit LincolnElectric.com and get on track to a better career and a better future.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
Back here on K-Toka Sports. Closing seconds of the first half, 14-6 Minster over the St. Henry Redskins. 34 seconds to go.
Still kind of like you said, the game not really having much flow. There's been
No.
some inconsistencies here, and still some conversation going on here following the Minster timeout. They have one left. Still 34 seconds to go.
Thought they maybe put some time back on the game clock due to that timeout being called really late, and there was some confusion, and nobody was. I think someone's signaling from the line. Yeah, I think someone from the Minster sidelines looking up at that press box, actually right up where we are. The game clock operator sitting, I don't know how far down. And the game clock is being reset.
Oh, it's a 1 minute.
Yeah, that's a 26-second add-on. There wasn't very much communication from the field. I don't blame the game clock operator for being confused. I think we all were.
Well, that will make sense then. While Minster must have called timeout and the signal wasn't maybe made, they got to stop here. They have another timeout.
Yeah, but I think St. Henry going to keep it on the ground. And I think team's getting frustrated. I don't know what happened there.
Maybe the whistle to start hadn't blown yet, so I don't think anything happened. Second down. Yeah, I'm not. 58 seconds to go, so.
And 2 seconds ran off there, and you got to reset it back to a minute, don't you?
Can't you just count 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and then turn it on?
Yeah, maybe.
Once again, 2nd and 8.
2nd and 8.
So from the 14-yard line, the play clock is going right there. It is a design run for Curtis Putoff. Putoff tackled immediately there by the Minster defense. Charlie Schmeezing on the tackle. And another timeout taken by Minster. It's a precision strip timeout. We'd like to use this opportunity to thank our sponsors here on NK Toko Sports. They're again Keyhole Pizza, First National Bank, Precision Strip, Emerson Climate Technologies, Carriage Works, Grand Lake Health, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric Automation, Minster Bank, New Knoxville Supply, Pratt Industries, Wagner's IGA, Wilson Health, Winners Meats, Borchers Floor Center, and NK Telco. Our additional sponsors, Burke Petroleum, Chiltex LLC, Cy Schwederman, Dickman Supply, Hometown Opportunity, Hewlespin Automotive, Park National Bank, Securecom, and the St. Henry Bank. So 52 seconds to go here on that First National Bank Think First scoreboard here in the first half. And you know, that first quarter dominated by St. Henry, but when the second quarter came around, Minster flipped the switch.
Yeah, they have. They've played much better offensively. The past couple drives have been very good. Their defense has done their job, too, not letting St. Henry get any more points on the board following that short down and distance they were given back in the first quarter. It resulted in a short drive, a 10-yard touchdown run, given a short field to defend. But the defense here a chance to force a fourth down and maybe force a punt with no timeout left. You're not going to have much time left. Maybe about 20 seconds, or about 20 seconds difference between game clock and.
Yeah, I don't even think that.
Yeah, because, okay, they got to reset it. I would say it's got to be more than 20. Now there's 36 on the clock, and I don't think they'll have to take another snap.
Yeah.
So after all that, nothing really happened.
Kind of an odd ending to
Very
the first
odd.
half, especially for a high school football game.
Well, things happen, and in the end, it's going to be an 8-point, one-possession game to go to half, and St. Henry will get the ball. After a break here and a chance to tie.
Yeah, and I don't think they're going to have to get a playoff. They're just going to sit out there and.
The play clock isn't even
moving. Yeah.
Well, that one says 9 down here. That one says 0 down here. I don't think they have to snap it, and they don't.
And after a kind of an odd ending to the first half, it finally bites the bullet and ends. 14-6 our score. Minster ahead of St. Henry. We'll take a break, come back with our first half stats and recap, and have the second half of football action between St. Henry and Minster here next on NK Telco Sports.
I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Wagner's IGA has been servicing their communities for more than 95 years, spanning 3 generations. Wagner's founded their business on 2 basic principles: excellent customer service and quality products. Visit all our locations and experience the finest selection of deli, fresh meats, and variety of beverage choices. While there, don't forget to check out our vast selection of fresh coffee beans, produce, dairy, and bakery items. Visit Wagner's today in Minster, Fort Laramie, and New Bremen, and check us out on Facebook.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium here at Minster High School here, getting ready to kick off the second half between St. Henry and Minster. After 24 minutes of battle here on the gridiron, our score, Minster 14, St. Henry 6. Here with our first half stats, thanks in part to Devin Bruce-Mon and Mr. Jeff Hinchin.
Well said there. Thank you to the Monans for helping us with these official stats. And rushing in the first half, St. Henry 90 yards on the ground, Minster just 10 yards on the ground. Through the air, St. Henry had a total of 35 yards passing, Minster 202 yards passing. Total offense, Minster 125. I'm sorry, St. Henry 125, Minster 212. And then kind of dominated there, Brandon, by the Cats, but not until later in the second half when those offensive plays became more relevant. Their drives became more substantial. Chase Kous had a big 48-yard catch that got him down to the 1 yard. He leads all receivers with 4 catches for 87 yards. In the rushing category, Curtis Putoff, the leading rusher, with 8 carries for 75 yards. And again, it's a one-possession game. As we start the second half, it'll be St. Henry's football. They took the early 6-0 lead on a Curtis Putoff 10-yard run with 2:12 to go in the first quarter. And that's where it stayed for a long time. The PAT was missed. Then it wasn't until just about under halfway through the second quarter at 4:50, Justin Bergman, a 2-yard run. And then at 1:14, Brogan Steffi, a 1-yard run. Both those touchdown PATs were good by Steffi, and that's where we stand at now, 14-6.
Again, like the big shocking stat there is the 90-10 rushing yards. Minster hasn't really established the run. They've established their offense through the air, but it's kind of an interesting, stat there. The winning team is getting outrushed by 80 yards.
And 10 yards. Now, there was a sack in there for -9, but still there wasn't much progress made.
So St. Henry will receive the second half kick. Now, Steffi will boot it away. And it's caught by St. Henry. A tackle broke by Logan Dehan. And a penalty flag as the beat goes on from the first half. A lot of penalties that first half.
St. Henry had 5 penalties for 50 yards. Minster committed 4 penalties for 41 yards. And that may now sound like a lot, but boy, it sure wiped out some big plays. One was a big 63-yard touchdown run, negated for St. Henry because of a penalty. And Minster had some big plays as well that were called back because of penalties.
And flag going to go against St. Henry. I don't know. I believe maybe I'll block in the back. And St. Henry will move back from what would have been pretty solid field position to start the second half with 11:54 here to go in the third quarter.
Well, the 16-yard line. So, yeah, it's not great starting position. Again, for an offense that has struggled throughout the season. Other than that first game, they scored 50. They have put together just about 31 points in the next now 4.5 ball games.
Well, hand it off. Harrison Wendell up the middle. Gets a pretty good gain there on first down.
Well, Wendell did what he needed to do, and that's get positive yards. And anytime you get over 3 or 4, in this case he got nearly 6 or 8, I should say, brings up a much more desirable second down distance to play with, and good start for the Redskins. A long way to go, though. They got to keep these drives going and eliminate the penalties.
2nd and 3 from the Minster 23 for St. Henry. Another two-back look. And a handoff. It's handed to Wendell. He's met immediately there by a couple Minster Wildcats. In on that play. I believe number 51, Gabe Bornhorst, was one of the many cats that got the tackle there.
Not much gain, so a good job by the Minster defense, as they're going to have to try to come up big here and force a 4th down kick deep inside of Redskin territory.
Yeah, 3rd down package. And, see some players come off the field. They got to be thinking a St. Henry run here. It's a 3rd and 1, a very short situation. You saw, for example, Michael Gonzalez, one of the receivers, coming off the field. St. Henry going a little bigger at the line here. You see the Minster defense creeping up, expecting run. Man in motion. It's Kellen Hoying. It's going to be a fullback dive and met immediately in the backfield. That is Gabe Bornhorst who gets the tackle. St. Henry trying to say they got the first down. I don't think they got it. No
I don't
way.
think so either. Wow, I didn't think he ever got really back to the line of scrimmage. And you mentioned a great play by the Minster defense getting in there.
Gabe Bornhorst.
Yeah, number 51, Gabe Bornhorst, a 5'10 sophomore. Forces a 4th down punting situation.
And yep, St. Henry will bring out their punt unit, even though it's very short. We've seen kind of the trend, especially in professional football, has been to go for it. Even that far in territory, they're going to bring the chains out for measurement, but I believe it was well short. And still about 6 inches short.
But still, as much as you would like to try to go and, probably, I don't know what the percentage would be if you tried it 10 times. Would you get it 7? I don't know. But if you don't get it, you're giving Minster great field position. You got to punt it here as much as you would like to keep possession, get the first down. You got to kick it away.
And St. Henry's kind of struggling in that short yardage situation anyway. Chase Cowles back to receive the punt. Nolan Kunkler, the punter.
Low line drive.
It's, a low line
nice
drive.
Hop, though. Yeah. Cowles able to pick it up on the big bounce.
Cowles getting chased outside. Ooh, what a hit there.
81.
Laying the lumber down there for St. Henry, Dominic Schwartz. Boy, that hit hurt from up here.
It did. It was well contacted, clean, legal hit. It was a hard hit, but clean, and that knocked Cowles right off the ground, but a decent return. He got to that low line driver, bounced right up into his lap. So Cowles had a good ball to return, got there to him quick before the Redskins defense or coverage team could come down. So good starting field position here, about the 47 for the Cats.
And Wildcats again trying to look for their 3rd straight win, 3rd straight MAC win, as well as they beat Fort Covering Anna in the last 2 weeks. It'll be the I formation, something Minster really hasn't shown tonight. And their matte black helmets look really nice tonight. A little fullback dive there maybe. Noted Steffi keep it. And it's, number 72 there for St. Henry. Drew Schwederman, the 6'2 junior there, in on the tackle. Has done a nice job on the line tonight. Dustin Quinter also in on the tackle for the Redskins.
Yeah, well said. Minster's running game, you mentioned it, the 12 carries for 10 yards in the first half. 1 carry for no yards here, so they've struggled to get the running game in operation. But sometimes you got to keep trying. You don't want to go all aerial attack right away, because you got to keep the line honest and mix it up a little bit, and you hope that you can get a break here on a running attempt and a running ground game and get some offense moving that way.
Steffi claps his hands. Quickly, the St. Henry defense gets to him. Cowles gets the ball, and it's an incomplete pass. Nice hit by Kellen Hoying. St. Henry saying they had it, but there was no catch there. Kellen Hoying supplying it. That was on Cowles again.
Well, he's had 2 shots, Cowles has, where he's been really hit hard, if you will.
So 3rd and 10 from Minster's own 47 with 8:44 here to go in the 3rd quarter.
A great starting field position, and right now Minster has nothing to show for it. And if they don't get 10 yards here, it's going to be probably give it back to St. Henry.
Steffi gets the shotgun snap, steps up in the pocket, feels the pressure, takes off himself, wrapped up, will not get the first down. They're in on the tackle. Number 35, Chase Littmer, the 5'9 senior there, causes the fourth down, and an interesting call here with the lead and on your side of the field.
6-yard pickup, but looks like Minster's going to go for it. They'll have a fourth and 3 or 4?
4th and 4 is what it says officially on the scoreboard. Even 2 here, do you try to get this? If there's been a lot of penalties this game, do you try to see if St. Henry jumps inside the neutral zone, makes contact here? And
yeah, in high school, if you break the neutral zone, it's an automatic penalty. So
yeah.
Play clock is not on, so I don't know how much.
And there's a flag and
delay game, maybe. Okay,
yep,
0.
There's delay game.
So I looked up to see what's
the back judge is Clint. It has the delay game, and they were trying to get him to jump off sides, and I thought that might have been the possibility there. So good disciplined defense there by St. Henry as Minster will now bring its punt unit out and punter Brady Wolf.
St. Henry didn't bite. I didn't think Minster was on the line very much to try to draw them off. It seemed like they got up there, and I happened to see how much time's left on the clock, and I saw zeros, and I thought, well, it's delay of game.
Even if you false start there or anything, you're trying to somehow get St. Henry to jump.
Yep, and get away with it.
Yeah.
Boy, a couple bodies there for the Redskins. Come up empty.
Good pressure, and Kellen Hoying falls on it at about the 25-yard line. That's where St. Henry will set up shop, and Wolf will trying to pin him, hit it a little sky high, but decent field position for the Redskins to start at 7:42 here to go in the third quarter. 14-6, Minster lead on that First National Bank Think First scoreboard.
Each team punted 3 times in the first half. Each team has had punted now here in the second half, so 4 punts for each team.
I'll actually officially mark it at the 24 is where they'll start this drive. 14-6, Brandon Coverman, the play-by-play announcer, alongside me, Jeff Hinchin, here on week 6 of Friday Night Lights. As Curtis put off, quick pass, little quick screen, and Harrison Wendell across the 30. Pretty good first down gain there for Harrison Wendell.
Yeah, it was nice and quick, and Wendell able to get out in space and pick up very nice yards of about probably 8, it looks like. But just was bang, bang, right in rhythm and good timing on that play.
Even though Minster's winning, I think one thing St. Henry has done better than the Wildcats is those first down plays, getting in more manageable second down situations. That's something that I think St. Henry has done a little better than the Wildcats here tonight. But the Wildcats what they've done is they've just been able to sustain long drives and avoid the penalties, unlike St. Henry. Dehan gets the ball, and he is met in the backfield. And that's one thing that, they get those nice 6-7 yard plays on first down, but they've struggled to establish the run in the short yardage situations.
Yeah, they just haven't maybe taken advantage of it. Those nice short down and distances, they've been kind of gifted or earned, and they've just not been able to materialize that and make it work and sustain any long drives. There's no gain on that rush.
3rd and 1 from the 33-yard line here. We said St. Henry got stopped on 3rd and 1 last drive. They went with a halfback dive there, didn't get the first down as the clock continues to roll, and nearing halfway through the third quarter. St. Henry's second possession. They quickly up to the line. They show I formation here. They put Hoying in motion. They hand it off. Wendell, and he got it. I think he got it. Yep. And they will give him the first down as the chains move. And it's a St. Henry first down as the clock freezes at 6:08 to go here in the third quarter.
And just kept his feet moving, and the tackler really lost momentum, and the body weight, if you will, just kind of threw him forward, gained that extra yard he needed, and more importantly, a first down, the first of the half. And for the game, that's St. Henry's 5th. They had 4 in the first half, 1 here in the second half. Minster had 7 first downs in the first half.
2-back look, 2 receivers at the bottom of the screen, 1 receiver on the top. Might have been a little bit of a false start there. St. Henry got away with it, and there is, I was going to say, I thought there was a motion out the backfield, and it was a late call, but the right call. There was a false start in the backfield. One of the backs right off of Curtis Putoff's right hip moved early there. Moves him back 5 yards. So first and 15 from St. Henry's own 30-yard line.
Negative plays again, and it's kind of like you go 2 steps forward, 3 steps back.
Put off, throws just a high pass. That was just not very good looking. Intended for Brody Schwartz. Like I said, St. Henry 1-4 on this season, making the trip down 119 here tonight to face Minster. 5:11 to go here in the third quarter. 14-6, Minster on that First National Bank Think First scoreboard. St. Henry struck first with 2:12 to go in the first on a Curtis Putoff 10-yard run. A 1-yard run by Brogan Steffi with 4:50 to go in the half. Put Minster up 7-6, and then with 1:14 to go, Minster had another rushing touchdown by Justin Bergman, and another good PAT to go up 14-6.
Out of system here. They're behind the chains following that penalty, and
Putoff went to Harrison Wendell right away, and a good tackle right as the ball hit Wendell to Devin Wubker, and it brings up 3rd and long here for
third
St.
and
Henry.
long, and back-to-back incomplete passes. Minster's very disciplined now to keep everything in front of them, know where the yard to gain stick is, and force the punt coming up. But St. Henry's in an awkward spot here. They got a first down and immediately something positive, but then they followed up with a penalty right after it to take them out of rhythm.
So trips on the bottom of your screen. One receiver or one running back there for protection for Putoff. He's running for his life, flings it downfield, and he's not going to be able to hit Wendell. Caught on the Minster sideline. Doesn't matter anyway. Caught by Brogan Steffi, actually. So they'll bring up 4th down and long here for the St. Henry Redskins, and they'll bring out their punt unit.
Had a receiver open downfield, but he was being chased from the back, thrown against his body. You know, it was a tough pass to put anything on the line, and just not enough room to work, or else could have been a big play, but hats off to the Minster defense. A lot of pressure that time, and took advantage of the penalty that St. Henry committed on themselves, and Minster allowed nothing after that, so should get good field position back here. And Minster, you know, they're kind of leaving the door open for the Redskins to hang around, and that's just what St. Henry would like to do, is, you know, stay in the ball game and be within a possession or so to make the score.
It's a line drive. Cowles navigating his way around. We got a penalty, and right into Minster territory is Chase Cowles, but
he got it received on the 36-yard line. It's a hold, so that's probably going to move it back to the 26 then.
Yeah. You know, very desirable. They're going to call. Looks like the second one came in and called a block in the back. First one is signaled hold. Second one, signaled a block in the back. So,
nonetheless, it's going backwards, and what would have been in great field position is going to be not as good. Just 4 minutes and 44 seconds left to play here in the third quarter.
Yeah, no score. St. Henry did all the scoring in the first. Minster did all the scoring in the second, and we're scoreless this quarter. Ball rests at about the 40-yard line. That's where we're going to start this drive at for Minster. So still, even though you're not in St. Henry territory, still a good spot, to start.
With the penalty, though, it must be from the spot of the foul then?
I would guess 10 yards from the spot. It must have happened at midfield, right where about Cowles got tackled.
So ball's on the 40.
Schmeezing going to be Steffi's design run, and that's Justin Quinner with the tackle. Man, he had a big pancake block on one big run earlier by Curtis Putoff. He is very underrated. He is a nice player. He's been a 3-year starter on the line for St. Henry. Nice player is Dustin Quinner.
Yeah, and he did a nice job there. Met him right at line of scrimmage, and so again, a negative ground attack for the Wildcats. They've just put nothing together on the ground so far tonight.
3 down linemen now. Actually 4 now. And Steffi's got trips on the top of your screen. He's got Devin Wubker on the bottom of your screen. Tried to hit Cowles quickly there. And just a little miscommunication. It was a dangerous pass over the middle. Cowles would have been, sandwiched in between a couple of St. Henry defenders. And he already took a couple violent hits
he might need a break. He's got a couple well hit. He's been hit a couple times hard tonight here recently in the second half. And again, though, quick third down already here. Is nothing working here in a long distance. 3rd and maybe 10, 3rd and 11. Both defenses here have kind of clamped down here recently, and Made the offenses really look out of system, really struggle.
So Bergman in the backfield off of Steffi's left hip, trips on top of your screen. Steffi getting great protection and time in the pocket, hits Niemeyer right there. And there was a beautiful throw. Great protection by the Minster offensive line. It was a clean pocket for Steffi to make the throw. Great job to the men up front by Minster. No penalty flag either.
I was looking also. Okay, so give him a 20-yard pickup. Niemeyer, the leading receiver coming in the ball game. I mentioned he had, I think, 26 catches, 27. He's had a couple tonight, so adds to that. But more importantly, a first down, the first of the half for the Wildcats. He had 7 in the first half. The 8th one comes here big on a 3rd and long, 3rd and 10. Good completion, good conversion.
Steffi, quick out. James Niemeyer. Niemeyer lowers the shoulder, moves the chains again. James Niemeyer moving the sticks for the Cats.
Takes it down to about the 22, so
an 18-yard pickup.
So 20-yard pickup and an 18-yard pickup here. Back-to-back plays, back-to-back first downs. Minster having a good rhythm there with
spotted at the
Steffi.
25, actually.
25, sorry.
About 15. A 15-yard. It's kind of bounced out on the far side of the field. It was hard to see where he stepped out at from where we're sitting at in the press box.
Yeah, and I thought I had it down at 22 also. I was looking at where I thought the umpire was marking the ball, but they can maybe move around a little bit. Nonetheless, 25-yard line. First down, Wildcats.
Niemeyer on top of your screen. Steffi's went to him back-to-back times. Bergman flips to his right side to block for Steffi on the design quarterback run. Not going to get much there as the St. Henry line holds. And this could be, this is field goal range for Minster. They missed one early in the first quarter, but both PATs Steffi has hit have been no doubters and look like they've been good from about 40.
He almost put it into the school building a couple times on a bounce, so definitely a strong leg, but Minster, I think, would wish, I think field goal is about the farthest thing in their mind right now. They're looking to put 6 on the board.
And I think we got an injury. Coming up limping there is number 72. That is Chad Schultze, the 6'1 junior, playing both ways down on the field. And we will step aside here. Injury timeout. 2:54 here to go in the third quarter. Minster 14, St. Henry 6. We'll be back here next on NK Telco Sports.
Wagner's IGA has been servicing their communities for more than 95 years, spanning 3 generations. Wagner's founded their business on 2 basic principles: excellent customer service and quality products. Visit all our locations and experience the finest selection of deli, fresh meats, and variety of beverage choices. While there, don't forget to check out our vast selection of fresh coffee beans, produce, dairy, and bakery items. Visit Wagner's today in Minster, Fort Laramie, and New Bremen. And check us out on Facebook.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it. And online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
Back here on NK Telco Sports out of the Precision Strip timeout. 14-6 Minster here on NK Telco Sports. Chad Schultze gets up under his own power. Good to see for Minster as we're back to action here. Steffi dodges a defender, and that is going to be intentional grounding.
Was it past the line of
or what?
Maybe.
And or an illegal man downfield. And that was number 50, Ian Homan, who came in.
So another penalty. Well, you mentioned Schultze got off the field on his own power. He didn't sprint off. He's being worked on the sideline, so maybe not 100%, and hopefully he can bounce back. And Minster, though, is going to lose some yards here, and yet their penalty, remember, it was 2nd and 8, 2nd and 7, so it's going to be
12.
Unless they decline it, I guess you could decline it. It was an incomplete pass. It would go to 3rd and 7.
It looks like they accepted it.
Minster's already run offense and they haven't even spotted the ball yet.
Yeah, it looks like Schultze is some lower body, I think, maybe on the leg area. Schultze looks like that they're working on, and the penalty is declined. It's 3rd and 8. Hopefully Schultze, again, is okay. Schmeezing off the right hip of Steffi here on 3rd down. Two receivers on the bottom of your screen, Niemeyer on the top. It was a little comeback pattern for Niemeyer, and that was beautiful. Niemeyer ran to a spot and came back and got the ball.
Yeah, the pass was thrown as he was kind of turning around, and nothing St. Henry could do. As Niemeyer, probably his third catch on this drive, that have all been first down catches.
And that's like Chris Olave-esque. Someone like Chris Olave had run that route, that comeback route, just beautifully. And James Niemeyer did it right there. That's a beautiful pass, a beautiful connection there. Niemeyer to Steffi. Another Wildcat first down as now they're inside the red zone at the St. Henry 14.
Boy, score here is 2 possession. That would be huge for the Wildcats. Is that Niemeyer in the corner?
Yes, Niemeyer in the corner. No good. Curtis Putoff in on the coverage. Again, you got that back corner fade. That's the DB. What you got an advantage is you can use that out of bounds marker. It's kind of like an extra defender there. You can't lay your hands on him, obviously, but you can use that out of bounds marker as kind of another defender. And they tried that earlier. It didn't work. The front pylon.
So second down 10 as Niemeyer, 6-foot receiver, has had a big second half here and came in with 27 catches. Got him first half. I'll look here at 3 catches in the first half, so he's got at least 3 here, so 6 on the night. So that puts him at 33, I believe, catches on the season.
Steffi claps his hands. He's got Schmeezing back in pass protection. Goes through the corner of the end zone for Niemeyer. He's got it! Touchdown from 14 yards out. 2:19 to go in the third quarter. Brogan Steffi and James Niemeyer have the connection, and it's a touchdown for Minster. 14-point lead, maybe 15 after the attempted PAT, and the Wildcats lead here on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard.
Nice play. We saw a lot of Niemeyer's action on the other side of the field. This time it brought him to the right side, and he found space in the end zone. Beautiful pass and a great catch by Niemeyer. His 3rd receiving touchdown of the season.
Steffi in to kick, and it is beautiful. Also the long snapper, too, James Niemeyer.
He was the holder.
Yeah, the holder, yeah, my bad, sorry.
Couch is a long snapper.
And that was beautifully done. 21-6, Minster ahead of St. Henry. A 14-yard touchdown catch by James Niemeyer, 2:19 to go. We'll step aside here, come back with St. Henry's drive here next on NK Toco Sports.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital, with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
Back here on NK Toco Sports, 2:19 to go here in the third quarter. A 14-yard catch by James Niemeyer from Brogan Steffi. And James Niemeyer, what a drive for him. He's the lead receiver on this team. Kind of seemed quiet that first half, Jeff, but wow, that drive, he came alive, and Minster's opened up this ball game.
Yeah, he had 3 catches, I believe, maybe 4 in that drive. 3 of them were for first downs, and 1 was for a touchdown. So the sophomores connect as Steffi and Niemeyer, both sophomores, came up big, but here's a nice run back by the Redskins.
And Dehan gets up near midfield. It's Brogan Steffi that makes the tackle, but a great response from St. Henry. You're down, but you're not out.
No, but they need something to happen. Their offense hasn't done much here recently, so you need to put together some drives. You need to answer that score with a score of your own.
And St. Henry, they scored those 6 points, the first 6 points of the game. It was after a Connor Schmeezing fumble. St. Henry picked it up. They got a 10-yard run from Putoff.
Yeah,
that got them up 6-0 early.
3 plays, I think it was. It got them a 2-play drive and took advantage of it.
A little fake jet sweep. Putoff will keep it himself. They've had some success with the quarterback run. Gets right near midfield for about a 3-yard gain. It looks like he's maybe 3 or 4 yards, about right near midfield.
Yeah, 4 or 5, but a nice start again. You mentioned before, it seems like on first down, St. Henry's been pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, I don't remember, I mean, I'm not saying it's been every time, but boy, there's been times you get 6 or 7 on first down, at second and like 2 or 3, and you think, okay, they can do a lot of things, and end up punting.
Yeah. And you know, that call sheet, you've got a lot of plays to go off of when you get in 2nd and 6. You usually don't when you're off schedule, but, you know, St. Henry should have the whole playbook open to them, but they haven't really been able to convert or execute. Wendell up the middle. He'll get a first down as he barrels officially into Minster territory.
Well, good answer. They get it down to the Minster 43-yard line on a first down. 7-yard pickup.
It's 1:22 here to go in the third quarter. St. Henry needing a score and needing a made extra point as well. They can't afford to miss that either.
Adam Rindler on a stop for the Wildcats, but not until the first down. They were second of the half. They had just 4 in the first half, so 6 in the ball game for St. Henry first downs.
Putoff, going to step back, going to fire down. Good for Kunkler. Got it inside the 5, down at about the 1-yard line. And we had not seen Putoff really drop back to pass, had solid protection. Kunkler got over to the top of the defense and is down inside the 1.
Huge play for the Redskins, and yeah, I mean, Kunkler was open. It was a beautifully thrown ball, just a yard short from being a touchdown. Kunkler, a 6'1" senior wide receiver. Big catch for him. And again, now the clock's running, so this will be about the end of as we get down to the end of the third quarter, so St. Henry's got to answer here with a 6 points, as time will become an issue here.
Wendell gets it. Is he short? Minster has been excellent in short yardage situations tonight. I don't think he got it, and they're signaling him down. That might be the last play of the third quarter. It's at 16 seconds right now. St. Henry going quickly. Kellen Hoying coming in with a play call. You think St. Henry try to get one more off.
I think they're going to run out of that option.
I don't think, they aren't going to get it. And time is out, but 2nd and goal coming up to start the fourth quarter. Minster 21, St. Henry 6. We'll come back with fourth quarter of action here of MAC football week 6, Minster St. Henry. Buckle up, it'll be a great fourth quarter. We'll be back here next on NK Tokyo Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
Kemmler Orthopedic Center is focused on a personalized, caring approach to treat all aspects of orthopedics, including total joint replacement, shoulder reconstruction, stem cell injections, and more. Dr. James Kemmler and Jed Cooney, certified PA, are dedicated to providing the best orthopedic care in the Grand Lake region. Kemmler Orthopedic Center has offices located in Salina and Van Wert, along with extended evening hours. To schedule an appointment, call our office at 419-586-5760.
Back here on NK Tokyo Sports, beginning the fourth quarter of football action. Minster 21, St. Henry 6, but St. Henry knocking on the doorstep here of a touchdown after a big pass play from Curtis Putoff to Nolan Kunkler.
Yeah, huge, and now they've still got 6 more inches to get within one possession score, but got to cash in here. Oh, I thought he almost threw. It's going to work. I thought the pitch was high.
And yes, it's a toss play there. They had not been able to penetrate the middle of the line. Touchdown, St. Henry, with 11:55 to go. 11:55, and St. Henry strikes for a 1-yard touchdown run by Harrison Wendell. And St. Henry has now scored the most points they've scored in a game since week 1 against Covington. And it's 21-12 in the all-important point after coming up here. They need it to stay within one possession because they missed their first point after attempt. And St. Henry getting the instructions here. And They are going to go for 2. This is huge here for St. Henry. They need it here. They've struggled in short yardage situations. Put off, drops back to pass, goes for the corner of the end zone, and it's incomplete. Broke up. None other than James Niemeyer breaks it up. Brody Schwartz, the intended receiver, and it's still a 2-possession game.
Yeah, tough call there. Maybe you got more confidence in your offense to get a 2-point conversion. You do in your kicking team. I don't know. But that keeps it at 9 now. So, yes, a 2-possession game. Nice play by James Niemeyer. He had a huge offensive performance in the last drive, resulting in a touchdown. And now that pass breakup keeps it at 9, a 2-point possession.
And, you know, and that's the thing. Does Coach Brad Luthman trust his kicking game?
Must not enough.
Yeah, you know, and that's the question there, because it's still a 2-possession game. You know, it's not like you miss and you're like, all right, well, I can go for 2 the next time, whatever. But you're still down 2 possessions, so.
But time becomes an issue. Minster, which hasn't done very fine on the ground tonight, you know, if they get successful on the ground, that's going to milk that clock down a bunch. Unless you're going to have some big plays like a pass play there to Kunkler, a 42-yarder on a kind of a broken coverage a little bit. You know, you're not going to score back-to-back pretty quickly with your offense that you're basically a ground-oriented team. So, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but St. Henry's defense is going to have to get a stop here. They were tore up a little bit last drive by the Wildcats, getting 3 first downs. Going to have to come up with hopefully for them, a 3-and-out on defense.
St. Henry will kick it away, trailing 21-12 on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Chase Cows catches it on the run, tackled there by number 18, Kellen Hoying, the 5'8" junior on the tackle there. So Minster will come out and start their first drive of the final quarter of action of the week 6 of football. Hard to believe that we are at week 6 already. Week 7, you know, coming around the corner, we are over the halfway point. And
yeah, we've already started talking about playoffs and stuff like that. I mean, there's a lot of football left to go, and teams can rearrange themselves as they win and lose, if you will. But you know, it's moving on tonight. You know, today's the first official day we're finally into the official fall day, and it feels like it's great weather tonight.
Yeah, beautiful football weather.
Penalty.
Yeah. Pre-snap, or I think it was maybe it's the officials with the spot in the ball.
Minster.
Okay, illegal substitution. And that's a play right there where we said Minster, one thing they've kind of struggled to do is establish the run, and with the lead, you are about forced to establish the run a little more.
Well, if you could do it, you could really milk the clock more. I mean, methodically drive down, really consume clock. Now they're out of system already on 1st and 15.
But the connection with James Niemeyer last drive was electric there, so it might not even matter.
True, if you have that confidence and he can get open, you're more than successful to try it and use it.
Steffi gets about most of that yardage back on the penalty. And gets it right past the 30-yard line as the clock continues to roll. 11.5 minutes to go here in this ball game. And said St. Henry, this is their highest scoring output since they beat Covington 50-0 in week 1. And we only said scored 24 points in the past 4 weeks, so that's an average of 6 points a game. They've doubled that output here. Minster's played a really good defensive game. 2 turnovers in this game, both in the first half. So both teams, ever since their first turnover in the first quarter, have taken care of the ball. Steffi getting some pressure off the edge, steps up in the pocket, throws downfield for Schmeezing, just overthrew him. There in coverage for St. Henry was Logan Dehan, and Schmeezing was ahead over the top. Beautiful job by Steffi to step in the pocket, just couldn't hit Schmeezing in time.
St. Henry really brought some pressure. Yeah. Number 10, Horseman, came from around the right side, and there was some pressure up front, and nice job by Steffi to avoid it, but boy, he's passed just about a yard too much for the speedy Schmeezing going down the field. But again, it stops the clock now. 3rd down, 12. So St. Henry put some pressure on Minster rather than letting Steffi sit back and look at things. Sometimes you put quarterbacks under pressure, the decision-making and the throwing accuracy is off. Now, if they get a stop here, it's going to be a good job by the defense to get them out off the field quickly.
Steffi, plenty of time in the pocket. He's got Cowles down the sideline. Cowles gets inside the 30, down near the 25. We said he took a couple big hits, but credit the Minster offensive line. That is such a clean pocket for Brogan Steffi. I wish the Cincinnati Bengals would take note there.
I'm glad they don't.
That's a clean pocket.
I'm glad they don't. Well, they went from the 32-yard line. Where did they? Well, I thought he got down a little bit farther.
Oh,
Did he step out of? Maybe he stepped out.
Maybe stepped out of bounds back there.
I would have thought it was up sooner. So 13 plus 18, 31 yards.
Boy, and again, we talk about the skill position players all the time. But the offensive line, clean pocket for Steffi, and Minster sticking through the air there instead of deciding to run. St. Henry brings another blitz. Steffi going to step up in the pocket, take a couple of yards with them. Going to be, I think, a little short of the first down marker.
I got about a 6-yard pickup, maybe.
Again, play broke down. Steffi is athletic enough. We'll see him on the basketball floor here in a few months. He'll be a very big contributor for that team as well after the football season concludes. But just so athletic to step up in the pocket and take a few yards. It's going to be marked off at 2nd and 5.
Steffi's 5 of 10 here and a half, 50%. But boy, when he's connected, he's come up with Niemeyer. And that one was a 3rd and 10 on the last drive.
Yeah.
That was big to keep that drive alive. Then they connected a few more times, and then a big one here to Cowles.
You can say they haven't had to worry about implementing the run game because the pass game's been effective. St. Henry just going to continue to bring pressure. Little screen play there, and it's going to be a first down.
Yeah, Bergman, nice pickup. Again, the pressure came through, and another first down.
St. Henry bringing a lot of pressure here lately, a lot of blitzes, keeping Minster on their toes. Now, that was a design screen play there.
But you're right, the pressure's come up for the most part, and the offensive line has done a nice job giving Steffi enough time. Trying to think, it's 72 Scholz, yeah, he's back in the game.
That's good to see for Minster.
I don't know when he came back in, but remember that one point he hobbled off.
Steffi drops back to pass. He steps up in the pocket, will take it himself. Jukes around a defender, but it gets wrapped up.
I say Scholz, he's not in the game. Trying to think, 72 was...
No, he's still on the bench right there. You can actually see right there. He's still out of the game.
I thought it was 72, but he's not. He's still nursing, looks like his ankle.
And there's a flag after the play. There was a personal foul against St. Henry earlier in this ball game.
Dead ball and sportsmanlike. That's a big one.
Yeah.
But Minster, they've got it down here. They love to score, but 2-possession game makes a big difference. If you don't turn it over, you can consume a lot of clock here. And obviously, the Minster's offense is still trying to score, so it's not stall mode yet. And they're still being aggressive. They've continue to pass the ball, and with the ground game kind of ineffective a little bit, they've been successful through the air, at least good enough to keep the drive alive. So it's not been automatic, but they've come through here with some nice plays when needed to move the chains, as we have another conference here with the officials.
And while they take that conference, we'd like to thank our sponsors here on NK Telco Sports. Some of our additional sponsors: Burke Petroleum, Chiltex LLC, Cy Schreederman Incorporated, Dickman Supply, Hometown Opportunity, Hulsman Automotive, Park National Bank, SecureCom, and the St. Henry Bank. Our keys to the game brought to you by Keyhole Pizza. Scoreboard sponsor, First National Bank. Starting lineups, Emerson Climate Technologies. Timeout sponsor, Precision Strip. Player of the game, which Jeff and I will pick at the end, is NK Telco. Our Minster Live View sponsor is Borchers Floor Center. So 2nd and 20 from the St. Henry 31 for Minster. As Steffi claps his hand, rolls out to his left, faces immediate St. Henry pressure, throws on the run. Nice catch, Devin Webker. We'll see where they mark him down at. Mark him down at about the 16-yard line. I'd say that's about a pickup of 15 there on the catch there. Nice job and nice, ballet type move for Devin Welker getting his feet in.
Did a nice job. Webker not only caught it, tap-toed, got the foot down, and that's a nice pickup considering the down and distance. You're at least got something. Now you're back within the change. Your 3rd and 6 is doable, but nice playing, nice pass and catch here, good route. Chance here for the Minster offense. They get a first down here, really can consume more of that game clock and continue to put the heat on.
There's a little reverse. Looks like a little trickeration maybe. Reverse to Cows. Down over to Steffi. And that's a touchdown. Trickeration by the Wildcats. And it's a Minster touchdown. Double reverse. Steffi the receiving pass. Touchdown pass by Chase Cows. Yes, you heard that right. Chase Cows with 9:08 to go in the 3rd quarter. Chase Cows to Brogan Steffi for 17 yards.
Do you think that was designed to be a pass? Or would you think Couch was running it the whole way, and then when he just happened to see it, I mean, you think the line can't go downfield, so maybe maybe it was a design pass all the way?
I think with the way Steffi was sitting towards the line as Steffi kicks it through, with the way Steffi is sitting there, I think it was, if he had nothing to go to, there's no one in the backfield. I think Steffi needed to go downfield. I think it was kind of a safety valve. If it's open, take it.
It was. I mean, I just wondered if he was running. I thought, well, there's my teammate. I'll just chuck it to him. But you got to be careful. The linemen don't. If they think it's a run all the way, they might release. But, boy, that play went backwards a long way, a lot of handoffs, and, that's a chance for mishandling there. But Minster got it. They didn't fumble it, and then, they went back 20 yards and probably the handoffs, at least 15.
Yeah.
And then they're able to turn it around and get the touchdown, and most positive that's the first touchdown pass of the year for Couch. Yes, first attempt. And for Steffi, his first
touchdown reception.
Yes. Oh, he does have a catch for 6 yards. I don't know if he caught his own pass on the deflection, but so the first pass for Couch, the first catch by Steffi.
And that's just telling the developing play, it was kind of a little trickeration there. Thought maybe a double reversal. When you're the defense, your eyes shift so many times. You don't know where the ball's going. It's hard. You kind of put in a spin cycle, so to speak. When that play works, it's so nice, but when it doesn't, you lose yardage. Logan Dehan, the kick returner here, as Dehan's taken down 28-12, our score on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. 9:02 here left to go here in regulation. Brandon Coverman here along with Jeff Hinchin on week 6 of Friday Night Football. Minster looking to get their 3rd straight win and are in prime position to do it here, especially if they get a stop here of the St. Henry Redskins.
Yeah, they would really have to self-destruct here to let St. Henry have a chance to get back in this with the deficit being so much. You go back to that last touchdown by St. Henry, didn't kick it, went for the 2-point conversion, failed. If they got the extra point, 13, it's then a 15-point game. I guess now it's still 16. It's still 2 possession.
Yeah.
No, 3.
Yeah, it's a 2 possession. It's 16 point.
Sorry.
I mean, you got to get 2 2-point conversions, and that's a pre-snap penalty, and that's going to even make it a further deficit there for St. Henry. Having to back up 5 yards. Penalties have hurt the Redskins. They had that 63-yard touchdown run called back in the first half.
Yeah, that was one of those plays where I believe at the time, let me check my sheet here. That was before half, late in the 2nd quarter, and that would have, I think, put St. Henry on top at that time. Called back. They ended up punting, and then Minster, I think, scored and went ahead and has not really looked back since.
Putoff drops back to pass. Putoff going to launch downfield for Kunkler again, which was successful last drive, and he's taken down, and there's going to be a late flag thrown there.
Well, Kunkler landed on Webker at the end. Webker, I think, is okay, but I don't know if there was illegal contact before all that happened, or if it was...
it was one of the
waving it off.
The flag was thrown really late. Yeah, and I agree with that. Picking up that flag. St. Henry, you're trying to take a downfield shot. You're trying to get back in this game. You're trying to go on another go route that was successful last time to Kunkler, and I think that's a good flag pickup by the
there's a
official.
penalty back here, though, on the line of scrimmage.
Flag back here. Holding against the Redskins.
Oh, my. It wouldn't have mattered ananyway.
Yeah.
Would have been offsetting.
Well, yeah, I don't know what the call even would have been down here. You assume defensive pass interference unless the offensive guy was, sometimes knew it was underthrown and committed offensive pass interference. We won't know. Holding, though, back at the line of scrimmage. Puts it back where we at now, Brandon, on the
9-yard line.
9. It's an 11-yard penalty. Going in the wrong direction here.
Yeah, 1st and a mile for St. Henry. Clean pocket for Putoff. Trying to go for Wendell, and that pass is intercepted by Minster. Noah Schwederman, the 6'3 freshman, was just sitting in the right place in the right time, and that might have put the coffin and the nail on this Minster victory.
Well, at desperate times, St. Henry has to open the playbook. They went long twice. That one a little bit underthrown, as you mentioned. The freshman in the right spot at the right time, and Schwederman made the best decision and not only caught it, but just secured it. And you're right, it's going to be a difficult task now for St. Henry. I thought it was already going to be difficult to get 2 scoring drives unless they hit up some big plays. But right now, Minster's offense can really take any true legitimate chance. And I say that, I did watch the Jets beat the Browns a couple weeks ago, so I'm not so sure anything is a given.
Nothing is impossible.
I still am shaking my head after that game. There's about 9 things that had to go wrong for Cleveland to lose that, and everything did, and some of it was self-inflicted and what I consider common sense mistakes. And nonetheless, good job defensively by the Wildcats and the offense here. One of their few offensive grounding pound yards here. Job well done by the offensive line here, and a good first down surge.
And now you're in a position where if you're Minster, you can milk clock, you can be more comfortable. They went back to the pass game. Again, it worked for Minster. That crazy trickeration play there, Chase Cowles to Brogan Steffi, a 17-yard touchdown pass on a double reverse. And, it's Minster pulling out their bag of tricks. Like I said, they're not afraid to pull out their bag of tricks. They won it when they played Fort Recovery the other week. They took the ball to start, and they had a little double reverse, a play down the sideline to Devin Webker, got him inside the red zone. So Coach Whiting likes to dig in those bag of tricks more often than a lot of coaches would. And that play is blown dead. There's a flag. Oh, no, they're going to call a timeout. Yep. So timeout. Precision strip timeout. We'll take it with them. 8:02 here to go in the ballgame. Minster leads 28-12 over St. Henry. We'll be back right after this on NK Toko Sports.
We are here. And here. And here. Minster Bank is everywhere, providing every banking service that you need to keep your financial life in order. Whether you are on the go or stopping by one of our branches, Minster Bank is here for you. We proudly support the communities where you live. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Unpack your potential with a career at Pratt Industries. Working at Pratt Industries is more than a job. It's a sustainable career.
Pratt Industries to me is a job. It's my career. It's the way I put food on my table, but I love what I do.
We offer competitive pay, excellent benefits, and opportunities for career advancement. To apply, visit careers.prattindustries.com.
Back here out of the precision strip timeout, 8:02 to go. Minster gets a interception. They lead 28-12, and Minster here trying to milk clock now, Jeff.
Yeah, they're in fine position here to, keep it on the ground now, keep the clock. There's another first down. So that'll be a very difficult task here for the St. Henry defense. Try to stuff them, get them back, trail by 16. But Wildcats, making this very interesting after struggling at times. They've really done some nice things back to back, and they're on the verge of winning their 3rd MAC game of the season. Didn't win a MAC game last year, so.
And just credit the job too Coach Whiting's doing in his 2nd season. Starting out slow out the gate, 1-9, and now looking here potentially in 7.5 minutes to be 4-2.
And remember, this is the first of the 3 games, maybe if you can count the end of game last week, but of the upcoming games that there's a nice keeper by
Read
Steffi.
option.
Good read.
Steffi has a stiff arm, and whoa, motors in for a first down. Brogan Steffi, a man amongst boys out there.
That's a close to first down, 9-yard pickup. But this is that stretch you talked about. After tonight, the Wildcats will go to Parkway and then come home for St. John's. And nothing is a guaranteed, but those are games they got to feel a good chance at winning. And again, you get a few more W's here, and you start talking about the Week 11 football matchup, and maybe Week 12. Week 11 definitely could be right back here at home.
Yeah, and that's the game we would have here on NK Telco Sports as we've covered Minster all season, and Minster has really come a long way, and all you have to do is finish in that top 8 to get the first round home game. Like I said, the playoff format expanded officially last year from 8 to 16 teams. We had that weird COVID year where everyone was involved, but now back in 2021, they officially expanded it to 16 teams, and St. Henry, even if they win another game or 2, could be in it. They're both in Division 7. Division 7 is very interesting when you take a look at it. Marion moved up to Division 6. So, the Flyers obviously would have been the favorite if they were in there, but now they're in Division 6. Springfield Central Catholic, who didn't even win a game a couple years ago, is up at the top right now.
New Bremen second.
New Bremen second. They're going to be 5-1 after beating Fort Recovery soundly tonight, a game you can catch here on NK Telco Sports as well. And Minster and New Bremen play in 2 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah, the 14th. Yep, 3 weeks. Up the 14th of October, they'll play up there at Cardinal Stadium, a game we'll have here on NK Telco Sports. But that'll be a good game. It'll determine playoff position. Not going to determine a MAC title, but can determine playoff positioning. And seeding. Fort Laramie's in there. Fort Laramie beat this Minster team.
Yeah, they're right behind Minster right now.
Mechanicsburg has been a powerhouse, and oftentimes in Division 6 has given teams like Marion Local, hasn't beat Marion Local, but has given them fits.
They gave Minster fits here a few years ago.
They
How
did.
Minster came back and won that game, I'll never know, but it was a come from behind last minute thing that Minster beat Mechanicsburg here at home. That's back-to-back good tackles by the Redskins.
That's number 35, Chase Littmer there on the tackle. Yeah. He was close to being tackled up high, yeah.
Luckily, everyone's bouncing up, but St. Henry's starting to use some of their timeouts.
Yeah, and as the Precision Strip timeout, we'd like to remind you that NK Telco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of high school varsity football action on NK Telco Channel 3 or in HD on Channel 503. Catch the replay of this game in particular on Tuesday, October 11th at 5 p.m. and Saturday, October 15th at 4 p.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. We have our key motion camera, as you guys know. We're doing all the Minster home football, volleyball, and girls and boys basketball. We also have key motion camera schools at New Knoxville, New Bremen. We have Sydney that will come back, Jackson Center, Botkins, Russia. And we have our other schools that are involved as well. We have Anna, Marion Local, Fort Laramie, also doing some Wapak football as well. So a lot of games to come back. We're doing some Ohio Northern again as well. Excited to add Ohio Northern back after a few years away. We're going to do some Ohio Northern football, volleyball, and basketball. So excited to have them back on board here. Just a lot of games on NK Telco Sports, a lot of packages you can buy, and a lot of games you can rewatch on YouTube as well.
Yep, well said. Pouring down here for the Wildcats, and they're going to air it out.
Steffi just out of the and Smeezing had it in his hands, couldn't corral it in.
Well, stop the clock. St. Henry will save a timeout. They have 2 left. And now it's 4th down, so there's just not much time left. 5 minutes, 31 seconds. Not saying it's impossible, but St. Henry definitely needs to hold the Cats here. And
I think Minster's trying to go for the real kill shot there. And it's going to be a 36, yeah.
Well, extra points would be good from 36, the way he's kicking his extra points.
But he missed that field goal attempt in the first quarter from about the same range. Snap a little low. The kick is good. And that right there is the dagger. 5:25 to go. Brogan Steffi delivers it from 36 yards. And Minster ahead 31-12. And on the first National Bank Think First scoreboard, that was a nice boot from Steffi.
Yeah, that's a nice weapon to have. And, it's a solid kick. The first field goal he tried early in the first quarter, yeah, something was not right there. St. Henry might even got a hand on it. It was a low-line drive screamer that, but boy, his PATs and that field goal there have looked very good, very well struck, high, nice arc. And, again, that would have been good from somewhere deeper than 36, too. But nice job by Steffi to kind of secure that. There's a play where it's a 2-score game. A lot of things have to go right. The snap, the hold, the kick, etc. But that's also a chance where St. Henry gets lucky, breaks through the line, you block the kick, it bounces your right direction, and guess what? They pick it up and they run the distance.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, a 2-point conversion's good. Now you're back to 8 points, and some may say, I was at the Walpole game with Van Wert a couple weeks ago, and Van Wert punted, got it blocked. Jordan Snyder picked it up, ran in for the winning touchdown with like 8 seconds to go in the game or something like that.
Yeah.
A lot of armchair quarterbacks the following day, but Minster executed well. Not only did they block well, but snap, hold, kick, everything good. That worked out for favorable points for the Wildcats against the Redskins.
And people are like, Jeff, why are you thinking that far ahead? Why are you thinking of the improbable? And that's, I think the same way. And I'll just say it's one thing. We're fans of the Cleveland Browns and Cincinnati Bengals. We've seen everything.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. The Jets game really doesn't bother me. I'm used to it. I've seen so much stuff over the years. I just never envisioned that one. So, it happens. And you got to have trust and confidence in your guys, and Coach Whiting did, and he said, go out there and let's get 3, and they did. And it worked out well. Everyone did their job.
And that pretty much,
and sometimes you do your job and it doesn't work out too. It's a game. So this time for the Cats, everything worked out well.
A lot of time for put-off right there to Kunkler, and they hook up for the second time this fourth quarter.
Wow.
They're not wanting to say die yet, down at about the 25. A hookup of about 49 yards maybe. 49, 50 yards there. A nice hookup. Curtis Putoff has had a few deep balls here. He's played his, percentage, just average completion percentage has gone up well here tonight. Short pass out there to Harrison Wendell. He'll be inside the red zone quickly.
Yep, and got out of bounds. So, boy, the yard markers weren't hardly even set. It took the line, the stick guys longer to get down the field. And St. Henry hurried up and ran the offense, and well, now that makes that field goal look even better because
how quickly they went down the field.
And St. Henry, if they would have got the ball there, a big play. And I didn't think St. Henry had a lot of big explosive plays, but they've come up with some tonight.
Yeah, and they've been on 1-on-1 coverage, and Kunkler went over the top a couple times, and they're 2 or 3 on those downfield connections this fourth quarter. In motion, Michael Gonzalez. Putoff drops back, and yet again, just a trend of the night, another pre-snap penalty on St. Henry. As that trend continues here tonight.
And just over 5 minutes to play, 5 minutes and a second. But at least the clock's not running for St. Henry, so they're not losing time, they're losing yards. But we've seen the ability to know that Putoff has some arm strength and get it downfield. They don't have far to go, so the defense is going to be more compact right now, not spread out. But again, a couple steps forward, 3 steps backwards. As sometimes St. Henry just hasn't been able to keep everything going in rhythm. But right now, just trying to, again, get offense, score the ball, and
trips on top of your screen. It's not going to matter. It is a Minster sack there coming through his number 57 or 51, Gabe Bornhorst. They're on the sack.
He got credit for it, but the other 2 guys kind of forced Putoff kind of up into the pocket there. I mean, it was almost a trio sack, if you will.
Yeah, very, very well said there. As Putoff drops back to pass again, he's going to float it downfield, and it wasn't thrown very well. Nice defense down the field there in coverage was Caleb Sharp.
Sharp might have had the best position of the pass. And is it 6 or 8 in coverage?
It looked like 8. It might be 8. Yep, it is 8. That's kind of hard to see from there. It was number 8, Dylan Heitkamp there in coverage.
I think Sharp might,
Yeah. It was great coverage down the field. That ball intended for Brody Schwartz.
Nice job by Heitkamp, though. Just nothing fancy. Knock it down. Make sure they don't get it.
Minster bringing pressure. Country.
Oh, my. I thought when he turned around, he had it in his pocket.
I think he was kind of running an inside post there.
Yeah, and it was thrown outside.
Yep. And where it was thrown was a little miscommunication. And that was fourth down there as they do turn the ball over. And there, it's weird, you got to score 3 times. Obviously, a very tough task, but you go for the end zone there. It's kind of.
Well, it's they were aggressive. They came out, that whole drive down the field. They played hurry up. It's just something they can keep learning against. It may come into play at upcoming games. Their time is running out with just 4 games left, but they've seen their offense move tonight. Some of the plays I would never have guessed they've only averaged 6 points or so in the last 4 games, but they have played. When you play a team like Coldwater in there and even Archibald, a very good team.
Yeah.
Sometimes those defenses, that's their strong suit.
Yeah.
You're just pitted against a better opponent those particular nights. But
Wildcats out there. Quarterback Cole Richard.
new quarterback in for the Wildcats. I believe it was Colin Richard.
Cole Richard.
Richard.
Yeah, 5'11" sophomore, the backup for Rogan stuff. They'll play probably a JV game tomorrow, so nice to get a little bit of varsity reps, even though Richard is a sophomore, just like his, the quarterback ahead of him, Brogan Steffi. Nice to get a little bit of action and a little bit of a break. Because, it's such a long season, especially with the expanded playoff formats as Bergman gets the carry, will be right at the original line of scrimmage. You talk about this season, expand the playoff format last year. For example, Marion went 16-0. That's a lot of games. The NFL plays 17 games, a couple preseason mixed in there, but you got 16, 17, 18-year-old kids playing as many games as the pros, and they're also expected to play other sports year-round. You got kids in basketball, you got kids in baseball, track and field, whatever. These are asking a lot of teenagers, and they're getting bogged down and burnt out. Yeah,
they play 15 games a year almost routinely. Now they're going to. They've done so well this in the 2000s. Their football season is 15 weeks. Last year, first time ever going 16. They did start the whole high school season a week earlier.
Yeah.
So it still kind of finishes the same time that first week of December. But, I guess it's kind of good. I don't know. I just wonder who thought of it. Say, hey, let's open it up and make it this. The college football is a big enough problem trying to figure out what they're trying to do. And high school just, boom, made it 16 instead of 8.
I think with the COVID, when COVID came around,
everyone got a chance to go.
When COVID came around, I think, you saw the lack of funding in the OHSAA, and they, maybe decided, football is their biggest moneymaker, clearly, as it is, pretty much in every state. Football is the biggest moneymaker everywhere, especially in Ohio, football crazy state like Ohio. You saw an opportunity there to increase profit revenue as the short pass out there, it's dropped there by Connor Garrett, the senior.
Yeah, it could be. As,
and it's an opportunity for kids to play. Some argue, talk to some football coaches. Some like it, some don't like it. Some say, you used to have pride when the playoffs used to be 4 teams. Some in a region.
You got it. You were one of the few in the proud. Now everyone kind of almost 14. I think there's 24 teams in division region 28. So 16 of those 28, over half of them will get a playoff berth.
And you got some of those teams in there like Bradford, who's not even fielding a varsity team, or Covington, who's in that region too, who's not even playing tonight because of the lack of players that they have. So you take those 2 teams away, and the field even gets even smaller. So what do you got to do? And when you're in the MAC. You're going to get a lot of points when you win. So, Minster winning this game tonight, they're at 4. They already clinched the playoff spot before. No matter what, they could have lost all their games. Didn't matter. Now they're in prime position. They win tonight. And if they win the next 2 weeks, if they're sitting at 6 wins, it's got to be about a 98% chance that they're hosting a home playoff game.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's not my decision. We just sit back and enjoy it and hope it's the right thing. So.
It is more football at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think anyone's.
I think the biggest problem will be is finding officials anymore.
Yeah.
That's become a scarcity with others. I know some football. I heard on the radio where I think it's football teams will no longer have a home game. They'll travel somewhere else.
They
and
have
almost play like a
officials.
double. We'll play, and then the officials stay and do the game after.
Yeah.
Like a double header.
Yeah. And in officiating, it's interesting because, you give up so much of your time. You're never going to, as the ball is fumbled there's a...
That's just a marker where the ball is fumbled.
Yeah, and...
it's a non-paying... I mean, it's a paying position, but for the abuse you take from either players, coaches, fans, whatever, who really says, I want to do that?
Yeah.
It's not worth it. But, I don't know. That's a problem. I heard not coach, but Tim Strebe on the radio.
Yeah.
He's
he's the communication director.
At Ohio High School Athletic Association. He talked very much concerned about officials in all the sports, if you will.
Yeah.
So,
number 20, Eli Brewing at quarterback, and I've officiated. You've nothing ever really official with a license, and you learn a lot. You understand a lot about officials when you do it yourself, and you kind of understand. Sometimes you're like, oh, well, why didn't they see that? And it's like, well, when you're in that position, you get it because you're like, you're not trying to hurt anyone, you're not trying to screw anyone's opportunities over. You're just calling it as you see. Very, 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 very rarely do you see someone trying to, slight another team, but it's tough because you're traveling, especially for basketball.
All over.
You're driving an hour for a game that maybe pays you $80 with the price of gas anymore. It's not making much money.
No,
you're about doing it for free, and on a Friday night we could be spending time with family. So
a lot of players getting into the ball game now as both teams are given opportunities. And Isaiah Horseman there, number 33 for the Redskins. I thought we called a Horseman earlier tonight. Yeah, it was Elijah, 10. He was I know he came on the defensive side, pressuring Steffi.
Ball resting near midfield, actually, 2nd and 10 as clock rolls down to 1:15 to go, 31-12. Minster on our First National Bank Think First scoreboard. They will advance to 4-2 on the season. There's a handoff, and Horseman will get a couple yards as he'll be dragged down there, and we can probably only get maybe one more play. I mean, the play clock's at 40. We'll see how quickly St. Henry gets to the line. And a lot of their Minster players coming off. And as the Minster faithful, some piling on out of here. And clock froze at 53 seconds to go.
And then they awarded the first down, so it'll restart.
So we'll have to be 2 more plays before this game ends. It'll be a 2-back look here for St. Henry. A rollout here by Brewing. Nice throw on the rollout. That's a great throw, actually, right there. That play caught by number 13, Tyler Schwederman, a senior. And that, I was going to say, they don't have to run another play, but we'll see what they do, and that might be it.
Yeah, this will be it unless it's an incomplete pass, but a lot of players getting in. As Dave Kanapke, the Minster Public Address announcer, doing a great job of, getting all the Minster kids, if you will, listed and names read across a loudspeaker, and someday they'll be playing here again.
And Dave does such a great job as the game ends here, getting everybody recognition, not just in football, but all over all the sports. We're glad he's a part of our team. He's such a great member. As the clock strikes 0, Minster wins 31-12 here in Week 6 of football action here on NK Telco Sports. The Wildcats improve to 4-2 on the season. St. Henry drops to 1-5 on the season. We'll take a short break. We'll come back with our stats, player of the game, final wrap-up. It's a Minster victory, 31-12 over St. Henry. We'll be back here to wrap it up here next on NK Telco Sports.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
Back here on NK Telco Sports at Memorial Stadium as Minster just wraps up singing their alma mater with their student section as they celebrate their third straight victory, 31-12 over the St. Henry Redskins. Here with the final stats and recap, Mr. Jeff Hinchin.
Well, in the game, the Minster Wildcats earned 16 first downs compared to 10 for St. Henry. Rushing, Minster had just 49 yards rushing. St. Henry had 112 yards rushing. Passing, Minster 335 yards passing through the air. St. Henry 163. Total offense for the Cats, 384. For the Redskins, 275. So, again, Minster's offense came alive. Much of it was through the air with a 335 yards passing. Steffi, through the night, passing was 21 of 34 with no interceptions. Put off was 14 of 26 with 2 picks for the passing numbers. But good night for the Minster air attack, and they prevail and outscored the Redskins 31-12 and pretty much dominated the second half after St. Henry got ahead early in the game, 6-0. Minster came back and in the second half got James Niemeyer a 13-yard pass from Brogan Steffi. That was then followed up by St. Henry getting a Harrison Wendell 1-yard run. Then Minster back-to-back scoring opportunities from Brogan Steffi, a 17-yarder to Chase Kaus. And then Steffi a 35-yarder field goal to close out the score and give Minster the 31-12 victory.
And really, it was that first quarter, Minster had that turnover early. St. Henry scored. You come in and you're like, Minster's the favored team. And they come out and they get there's a turnover right away, and St. Henry scores, and you're like, oh, well, maybe is this an upset alert? But then Minster's came back and responded right away in the second quarter.
But I give credit to St. Henry. They made it difficult for Minster, and Minster didn't help themselves at times. But, St. Henry hung in or battled, and it was a one-possession, two-possession game for a long time till the very end when Steffi got that field goal. But nonetheless, the better team, I think, won tonight. Figured out through their miscues. St. Henry, good, bad, just sometimes back-to-back bads overshadowed their good. And tough break for the Redskins, but congratulations to the Wildcats.
Yeah, and they, advanced to 4-2 on the season, and big part of that victory tonight is our player of the game, brought to you by NK Telco, and we're going to go with James Niemeyer tonight as our player of the game.
He came in as a leading receiver on the season for the Wildcats with 27 catches. He added 7 more to that. That gave him 7 catches tonight for 87 and a touchdown catch, which would be his 3rd of the year. But that drive in the second half, it really got the Wildcats moving. He had 3 or 4 big catches. I think all of them were either for a first down and or the touchdown catch. So then on a 2-point conversion, when St. Henry went for it, would have cut it to a one-possession game. Niemeyer, the defensive play to swat it down and secure that Minster lead, and then Minster added on to it. But congratulations to Minster's James Niemeyer being our NK Telco player of the game.
Minster moves to 4-2 on the season, and they travel to Parkway next week. Like I said, Parkway sitting near the bottom of the MAC there. Parkway took a shellacking tonight from Coldwater up there against the Cavaliers tonight. So Minster will be a heavy favorite next week. They win next week. They have 5 wins. They're sitting right at 500. So Minster in a good position, to get a good they're already clinched the playoffs, but they can get a home game, and that's huge. When you get a home game, that's something to be prideful about as well.
Very well, and they just have to take care of business, go play their football game, and see what happens. You can't overlook your opponent. You start doing that, you're not going to do well. So Minster will respect them and play well and prepare and go at it and try to earn that big road win against the Panthers.
And St. Henry drops to 1-5. Next week they will be at New Bremen. That's a game that you can catch here on NK Toco Sports. Scott Fry will be on the call for that game. So any St. Henry fans listening out there live right now, you can buy the pay-per-view package to watch the game at New Bremen. If you don't want to travel to Cardinal Stadium to watch that game, you can tune in and watch it live here on NK Toco Sports. That'll do it for us here tonight, here at Memorial Stadium at Minster. For the final time, the Minster Wildcats defeat the St. Henry Redskins 31-12. I'd like to thank our crew on camera, Tyler Magato, for us announcers, for Jeff Hinchin. I'm Brandon Coverman. Again, for the final time, the Minster Wildcats defeat the St. Henry Redskins 31-12. We'll catch you here next time on NK Toco Sports.